I talk, and he go answer where I call. Is the word to bless the light that shining that Jesus? They pain me, shame me, since them all he take just for me. He has molded me, grown me, and called me. He's on J-E-S-U-S, and I'm gonna J-E-S-U-S. Why that's on the notice? J-E-S-U-S, and I'm gonna J-E-S-U-S.
Thank you. Nothing go for my so you wanna be my papa. Fandote ya podia no so fao. Itumuna kaka ina ifwesankuwa. Jehovah kuswe, Jehovah bamwe, mfamuya. Yata, Judah when I am, you are judge a cook massa. Why is the passay up in the buzzer of the way? Yes, the passay up in the buzzer of the way. Yes, the passay up in the buzzer of the way. Yes, the passay up in my Tando, animal to my Tando, Anuni Mama, Tando, Anuni Mama, Tando, animal to my Tando, animal to my Tando. Panda ya wambe akunga ya beba. Akama fingo bimbi no bimbi kunga. Akama fingo bimbi no bimbi ndema. Jigo tena mate utimbi bodia kuyanta jei. Bodia wadeke banda bodu waba masontede. Moye. Yata banda bojinji maya bibi afeto. Yata pasa ya bima. Pasa ya bima. Yata pasa ya bima. Yata pasa ya bima. Yata pasa ya bima. Yata pasa ya bima. Tando, anima bima. Tando, anuni mama. Tando, anuni mama. Tando, anima bima. Tando, anima bima. Tando, anima bima. Tando, anuni mama. Tando, nikito se pasa ya biwa. Namoni modo moni tando be atwema. Nikido se pasa ya biwa. Namoni modo moni tando be atwema. Kido tena mate otimbi bodia kuyanta jei. Bodia wadeke banda bodu amba masontede. Boye. Yata banda bojingi maya be bienfeto.
Sadeti munkumu yohoi nikanu awa unto they wanna give go will baby anyama
Unaka masiro Kale masina evu hoteli falami
Yata pasa ya bima
Pasa ya bima
Yata pasa ya bima
Yata pasa ya bima
Yata pasa ya bima
Pasa ya bima
Yata pasa ya bima
Tando, anima bima
Tando,
Anuni mama Tando, anuni mama Tando, anima bima
Remix. Gratitude. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we had to say thank you, Papa God. So we had to say thank you, Papa God. So we had to say thank you, Papa God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we had to say thank you, Papa God. So we had to say thank you, Papa God. So we had to say thank you, Papa God. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
bima. Nyali beka sepia bima. Gewo baika, anyali beka sepia bima. Nyali beka sepia bima. Anyali beka sepia bima. Gewo baika, anyali beka sepia bima.
You don't do too much for me. My God, you don't do too much for me. My God. My God. You don't do too much for me. My God, you don't do too much for me. My God.
Papa, God,
My God.
Gewo.
My God,
DJs than that. In daddy, then daddy. In daddy, when I did DJ Wonder,
it's our station. Anywhere, anytime. Epic Radio, 99.3 FM. So refreshing. It's Epic Radio, so refreshing. Hey, it's your station. Anywhere, anytime. Epic Radio, 99.3 FM. So refreshing.
Listen to Epic Radio, 99.3 FM. So refreshing. Pushe una cabo, this one a boy picking twice eyes on the beat. They listen to Epic Radio, 99.3 FM, so refreshing.
when you talk on the DJs then that. In daddy, then daddy. In daddy, when I did DJ Wonder.
Listen to Epic Radio, so listen to Epic Radio, 99.3 FM, so
It's Epic Radio. So refreshing.
Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. And of course, good morning to our listeners across the world. And of course, whether your time zone is in the morning hours, night, or evening, I want to say good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show, broadcasting live from our studios at 54 Elcourt Road, Freetown, Sierra Leone, and also on frequency modulation 99.3 FM. The Epic Morning Show is a 2 hours 30 minutes program which is divided into two engaging segments, and in the first segment we bring in guests to discuss critical issues that demand critical answers, and in the second segment we review the front pages of our newspaper, and also we invite analysts to break down and probably analyze the major stories that makes the headline. Today is Monday, the 7th day of April 2025. I am your host, Ivan Julius Lee, and of course stay tuned for an insightful and informative show. And so, no good on side, just spend the next 1 hour 30 minutes with me, because we'll get a conversation with the U.S. Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Hunt. He will join us shortly in the studio, and we have a lot of things to discuss in the program. So no good on side, as I say, keep me coming in for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. We'll go for a short break, and when I come back, I will take on a morning's message for today. Stay tuned. Our morning's message for today is believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Your confidence is your superpower. It simply means that have yourself or self-belief, believe in yourself, and let other person not believe in you. But one important thing you must do is to believe in yourself. And get that kind of a self-confidence that I can do everything, and that's a strength, because that's personal belief, and that I can do, like no matter the situation, I can do part of it. It's a superpower, and that will energize you and for go through so much in life. So the most important thing, first thing first, just believe in yourself that I can do everything. And that's what I want you to start the week with. And this is the second day of the normal week and the first day of the week, and we're just 7 days in the month of April. So just work with this. Self-belief is so much important. Stay tuned.
I see a light inside of you.
This now big news for all man na saloon. Access Bank na saloon don't acquire. We mean say then don't take over Standard Chartered Bank na saloon. I don't think say you know what that mean, but I will tell you. It means say you now get 700 branch them and other place them where you can do business with Access Bank saloon. Now America, Europe and Africa. Access Bank ready for improve your life. We mean say we don't open new life and give you service all side at the 24 countries the world operates and over 65 million other customers them with a bank with Access Bank na saloon. Access Bank not only make it easy but make it reliable for you and give you more sense on bank business in the one whole world. You see now say Access Bank na saloon don't bring new opportunity for you for make life easy for all man and woman where one open business na saloon. Una come na Access Bank na saloon and see where we go play wonders for make life easy for you and your money. Access Bank will make them better for you.
One day you'll be like the sun.
It's Epic Radio. So refreshing.
Access, more than banking.
You then look for the best betting experience.
It's
Register
Epic
with
Radio.
OneXBet today
So
and enjoy
refreshing.
200% bonus on your first deposit to 2,300 new loans. Yes, double your money right from the start. Go inside OneX game for fine casino games, card game, and Poco other thing them. All the 1 year design for make you enjoy and win big. Or you can bet on sports events them like football, basketball, tennis, and Poco other one them with live updates and competition odds for get to the game. It's easy for start. Register by phone or complete your registration with valid ID card. But not forget for screenshot your account for use them later. Deposit and withdraw you winning with Colat. We use Orange Money, Afri Money, OneXBet Cash, MasterCard or Visa Card. OneXBet are the official sponsor for La Liga, Serie A, League One and the Confederation of African Football. So no now say you done a good hand. Join OneXBet today and join the winning journey. But remember say you need for bet responsibly. OneXBet, your world of betting.
Welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, Slick TV channel 37, Radio Garden, Choice FM, and of course you are in the eastern part of Freetown, and also on Facebook at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And thank you very much for choosing us this morning and for us to be part of your morning schedule. And I assure you that you will not actually regret choosing us this morning and to be part of your morning schedule. So I told you earlier on, we talked to the ambassador, U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Hunt, and of course we can talk about the relationship between Sierra Leone and that of United States of America under President Donald Trump's administration. And that's what we're going to look at this morning. And of course we'll be tagged on the immigration, foreign aid and that of tariff. Sierra don't they enjoy an outstanding relationship with the United States of America over the years. And since the administration of President Donald Trump, sometimes in January, 111 executive orders don't be passed by President Donald Trump, and in those 111 orders, 5 directly or somehow affect Africa or get for affect Africa, to put it. And amongst which we see a suspension of foreign aid for 90 days, which will close or fastly approaching that 90 days. And we also saw the withdrawal of US from the WHO, and amongst which for Sierra Leone undocumented immigrants as well has been a challenge so far. And of recent we see the introduction of 10% tariff that has to do with importation. So there is so much more to discuss in the program this morning, and we shall be talking, or will be talking to pretty soon, as soon as very soon, to the U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Hunt, and he came into Sierra Leone September 7, presented his credential to the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, September 11, 2023. So apparently, he don't do close or more than 1.5 years in the country, fast approaching 2 years. So this is our special guest this morning, and sit tight wherever you are, because I know a lot of Sierra Leoneans out there may tend to see some of this decision as worrisome situation for us as a country. Probably the fears may be turned off. We should not take this too extreme, or probably it's something we should learn as a country. So I'll introduce Brian Hunt very soon, the U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone, His Excellency Brian Hunt, and he will be shortly in the studio. Let's discuss about the said topic. Stay tuned. Alright, and welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, Slick TV, Channel 37, Radio Garden, Choice FM, that's you in the distant part of it on Chef. You can listen to it through Choice FM. And of course, my beautiful Facebook viewers, you can also log on via Facebook Live page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And earlier when I told you that I'll introduce my guest shortly, and he's here. His Excellency Brian Hunt. Good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be with you on the Epic Morning Show.
It's nice having you this morning.
Thank you.
And let's start off from your weekend. How was it like?
My weekend was lovely. I spent it out at River Number 2, enjoying the beach.
So you spent close to 2 years. You are fast approaching 2 years. How has it been like for you?
I enjoy Sierra Leone. I find the culture very open, very welcoming. I think we're making strong progress on the bilateral relationship. I've enjoyed the ability to engage not just with the government but with a wide cross-section of the Sierra Leonean population. And I think that together we're actually advancing the core goals that we at the U.S. Embassy have of trying to promote a stronger democracy, stronger health system, stronger economy here in Sierra Leone.
Do you think this bilateral relationship you just talked about, do you find it, as of recent, do you find it probably the relationship tends to be straining at some point?
No, not at all. I think the bilateral relationship is stronger than ever, to be perfectly frank. The changes that have happened since the election of the Trump-Vance administration in November, I think, are to the benefit of both Sierra Leone and the United States. For too long, we've relied on development assistance as the defining feature in our relationship, and being able to move from that donor-recipient relationship to one that is based more on a partnership of shared values, of shared interests, one that focuses on trade and investment, which really needs to be the driving force for development here in Sierra Leone. I think it's to the benefit of both countries. That's something that's been widely welcomed by folks on both sides of the border, and I look forward to continuing to being able to drive forward an agenda that looks more at private sector development here in Sierra Leone.
Do you see some of these moves as probably a way of aiding or helping Africa to be more independent? That's what you're saying.
I think it's absolutely essential that Africa be more economically independent.
Okay.
Being able to attract foreign investment from around the globe, being able to rely upon its own private sector as the engine for growth in its economies, being able to develop a tax base through which governments can pursue their own priorities rather than relying on donors, is going to be to the benefit of the African people.
So let's go deep into the conversation. Let's start off with President Donald Trump, almost 3 months in office. Let's talk about how has it been for him, as the President of the United States of America for close to 3 months now.
Well, I think you'd have to ask President Trump how the experience has been for him. He's done this before, so it is not a new job for him. I think his agenda is moving forward, both at home and abroad. He's been very clear about what his priorities are for the United States, which is to drive forward an economic recovery in our country while making sure that we are using taxpayer resources efficiently and effectively around the globe. He's looking very hard at how he can ensure that every dollar that the federal government spends is being spent to the benefit of the American taxpayer. Clearly, he has an agenda that looks at trying to have a smaller government, a more robust private sector, both at home and abroad, and the change is what the American people voted for in November.
Could this ideology of America be for Americans, and from January 20 to be specific, and to, correct me if I'm wrong, April 2nd, 111 executive orders. And for Africa, 5 of these executive orders seems to be challenging for Africa. Is it probably is push for change and so much eager to change? Could we describe this as the reason?
So President Trump's been very clear that he is an agent for change. Some of his senior advisors have described him as a disruptor to the current system. And that's what people voted for in November, was change. So I think it's entirely appropriate that President Trump is reacting to his electorate, that he is making sure to carry through on the promises that he made during the election. The executive orders are not unusual. These are executive orders that every president issues. This is how the president oversees the very large federal bureaucracy that we have in the United States and gives us direction as to how they want us to proceed. So this is in keeping with long-standing American tradition for the president to use executive orders to lay out his instructions to the federal bureaucracy, which of course are going to be different than those of his predecessor. So it doesn't come as any surprise or shock to me or to those of us who work in the system that we've seen the number of executive orders that we have, that they have followed very closely to what President Trump said he was going to do in his election campaign. As far as the impact on Africa, I think people have made a great deal over some of the executive orders, perhaps more so than they should have. I think the core change that President Trump is trying to bring about is the one that I cited earlier, the move away from defining the relationship solely in terms of foreign assistance to really looking at how we can have a broad, mature relationship between co-equal sovereign states that's really based around genuinely shared national interests.
From what you said just now, we definitely start with the suspension of foreign aid programs, and which, of course, according to what I saw, 90 days. And do we think, or do you think, that we should be hopeful, because for Sierra Leone, amongst which is the MCC, and which, of course, has to do with supporting the energy sector. Do you think it's something that Africa or Sierra Leone should be hopeful after these 90 days?
Yes, I see no reason for Sierra Leone not to be hopeful. I think there's been a great deal made over this foreign assistance review. The reality is this is not unusual for an incoming president to look at the full range of U.S. foreign assistance and determine what is in line with his agenda and what needs to be reformed in order to bring it in line with his agenda. Much of the review focuses on the U.S. Agency for International Development and how it has been conducting its programs around the world. That review is essentially finished. Secretary Rubio signed out already the programs that we will be continuing through what is going to be a reformed foreign assistance agency under the Department of State. So we already have a clear picture of what's going to happen with those programs. For Sierra Leone, it means that we are going to be concentrating very heavily in the health sector, looking to expand our work under the President's Malaria Initiative, the work that we're doing on preventing pandemic disease under the Global Health Security Initiative, and continuing our work under maternal and child health. So it's a concentration, not an abandonment, of our commitment to Sierra Leone. We actually think we'll get far better results by the way that President Trump has laid out the new programs going forward. On the side that deals with private sector development, our MCC, our DFC, those are very much in line with President Trump's agenda to promote the private sector in Africa. The review of the broader foreign assistance programs, I expect, will conclude fairly shortly. We're almost at the end of the 90-day period, and we should then know the contours of what those programs look like going forward. But as I've said, since they're already very much in line with where President Trump has indicated he wants to go in supporting the private sector, I think all of us should be hopeful.
So we should expect some positivity at the end of the 90 days in terms of MCC. That's what you're saying, for clarity's sake.
Well,
as the initial plan.
Absolutely, we should expect. We should continue to be positive about this. The reality of the MCC compact.
Should the positivity be reality?
Yeah. So the MCC compact has always is designed like any other international agreement. There are provisions whereby one or both parties could decide to withdraw from that agreement, but no one, neither side has suggested that they are planning to do that. Neither side has initiated the process to do that. So at this stage, that agreement is in force, and I see no reason to expect that it won't continue that way.
You talked about the health sector, and before we talked about the health sector, and which you said the United States will continue to support Sierra Leone, and we saw your withdrawal from the WHO, and which you're a major donor. I think about 1,000 or so US dollar, billion dollars, sorry, and $1.2 billion, sorry, to be put it that way, and that's a huge amount. And you withdraw from WHO, and you saying that you continue to support Sierra Leone in terms of health. Let's discuss about this.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't think the WHO has been effective in any way, shape, or form. We have strong disagreements with how that organization has been run, and we have strong disagreements with the organization's use of American taxpayer dollars. We don't believe that that organization was having a positive impact on global health. We believe that by doing it bilaterally and through other international organizations, we can be much more effective.
So how would you describe the shutdown of U.S. aid and that of, because it has been playing a major role in Sierra Leone as well, and that's another concern again in terms of health benefit in this country.
So it's not a shutdown of USAID. I think that's an incorrect characterization. Okay. What we have done, as many other development partners to Sierra Leone have done, is decide that we will have our development assistance run through our Ministry of Foreign Affairs rather than through a standalone entity. So the functions that were previously being performed by USAID as of July 1st will be transferred over to the State Department. We will continue to have folks in our mission who are working on development activities and overseeing the programs that we are continuing in the health sector, and we anticipate that those programs will continue to go on as they have throughout this period. So it's definitely not a shutdown of development assistance. We're simply reordering the same way that the British have done, the same way that the Canadians have done.
All right, so let's, this is so important for us as a nation, and Sierra Leoneans, they have been thinking, I mean, how would you describe the relationship between Sierra Leone and that of the United States of America under President Donald Trump's administration? Because from what, I mean, that you've said, of things that are happening, I mean, the fears of Sierra Leoneans are so much high that this relationship seems not to be going the way how it used to be.
So I don't think Sierra Leoneans need to have any fear at all about the relationship. If anything, I think Sierra Leoneans should embrace the changes that are coming. My view is that if we want to see growth and development here, it has to focus on the private sector. Development assistance, we've been doing that in the same way since Sierra Leone's independence, and if we're honest with ourselves, the track record is clear. It has not resulted in the development of this country. There has to be significant change if we're going to make progress. And I believe, the administration in the United States believes, that that change has to evolve around empowering the private sector to be a real engine for growth and development in this country. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. I believe that it will have immense benefits across the board for Sierra Leoneans and for the Sierra Leonean government, because frankly, if we can increase the private sector activity here, it will increase the tax base, it will give the government greater fiscal space to be able to carry out the social and other programs that it wishes to do, and I think it will set Sierra Leone on a much better path than where it has been as a country wholly dependent upon financing from the outside.
As country rep in Sierra Leone, I mean, you're representing the United States of America. I mean, it's no secret we are faced with a lot of challenge, and people may want to target due to the corona and that of Ebola. I mean, they struck heavy in our economy, and people believe that we are still creeping as a nation. Those reasons being considered probably like giving out your message that let's go and rethink about some of these things. Sierra Leone is still creeping based on, as I mentioned, COVID and that of Ebola, which struck very hard in our economy.
So I don't think Sierra Leone is creeping. I think Sierra Leone is a vibrant, dynamic economy that can easily move forward with private sector growth and development. Having talked to a number of U.S. investors who are already operating here and a number that are considering opening operations here over the next year, I can tell you that the private sector, at least the international private sector, is very bullish about the economy here in Sierra Leone. They see this as an untapped market for goods and services. They see it as a country that has the potential to play a major role in trade and exports within the African continent. They see this as a place where the government is trying to put in place the right policies to promote infrastructure development, to promote private sector development. So I don't think we're going to have any difficulty in convincing certainly the U.S. and I think others in the international private sector to come and invest in Sierra Leone and drive the economy forward.
Successive governments have been trying, and in this direction, they have been trying in terms of improving our economy. And as I said earlier on, the interference, I will put it that way, of Ebola and that of Corona, I mean, it's struck very hard as a nation. If you go down, I'm sure you've been moving. You told me that you spent your weekend at number 2. You'll see that a lot of people out there, they find it challenging. You may want to say probably economically in a fine face we are doing well, but reality on the ground, things are tough, and I'm sure you're aware about it.
Well, things are tough everywhere around the globe all the time, but I don't think continuing to harp on things that happened in the past is going to move the country forward into the future. I think it's time to remember the past, recognize the past, honor the past, but it's time to move beyond the past. And we should not allow the past to shackle us in place. And I don't see any reason why it should. This is a country that can move forward. We simply need to unleash the private sector. I'd also say in the past, frankly, the development partners have not been focused on this area in the way that we should. You have not had the full support of the international community. I believe that with the changes that are happening globally, that you're going to see not just the United States, but many other development partners moving towards a focus on private sector development.
Is it, you said international partners. Is it that we want to describe Sierra Leone as not business friendly, or probably international partners are not paying attention to Sierra Leone?
So I think the problem is that we have never thought about Sierra Leone through a private sector lens.
Okay.
Everything in the past has focused on how we help the government provide basic social services, poverty reduction, those sorts of issues, all of which are valuable, but none of which move the country to a new level of development. They keep them keeps the country enshrined, mired in the same issue set that it's been mired in since its independence. An insufficient tax base, insufficient job creation, over-reliance upon the government to be the driver of the economy. We as the development partners have frankly reinforced that. and we need to change our behavior to focus less on that set of issues and more on how we move Sierra Leone forward through private sector growth and development, which frankly is the only way that any country has ever made the jump from where Sierra Leone is today to where it hopes to be tomorrow.
So how well have you been discussing this ideology of moving Sierra Leone to the private sector? As you believe it's as a main goal or major goal to attain success as a nation. How well have you been as the ambassador from the United States of America to Sierra Leone? How well have you been pushing through with this?
So we started this conversation even before the November elections. The involvement of the Development Finance Corporation, both in the Nant Energy project and in the airport project and in a number of smaller projects that don't get the same level of attention, is specifically because we see the private sector as the engine that can drive Sierra Leone forward. The MCC compact that we signed is specifically designed to address the largest impediment that the private sector has identified to economic growth in the country: reliable, affordable energy. So we've been shifting in this direction throughout my tenure. But I think now that we have the full support of the administration in Washington, we have a president who is absolutely clear that this is the direction he wants to go in, not just in the relationship with Sierra Leone, but across the globe, really, I think will only serve to reinforce those programs that we've started, and hopefully we'll see many more programs starting in Sierra Leone with the support of the U.S. investment agencies like DFC.
People may look at the economic structure of Sierra Leone. Do you think this is achievable?
The economic structure of Sierra Leone...
As you rightly say, people pay more attention to the government. And do you think this, or do we have to change? Is it about ideology or mindset? Which do we work with?
Sure. No, it's a fair question. I think Sierra Leone has, for a long time, in part because of donor focus, looked very heavily at the government as the defining engine of growth. We look to the government to create jobs. Even if we look at the Big Five, we talk about the government creating jobs, creating agriculture. These are things that are best done by the private sector. And it is going to require a change in, as you say, mindset within Sierra Leoneans to recognize that the way to wealth and prosperity is not through obtaining a government job. It's through looking to the private sector. It's through entrepreneurship. It's through getting involved with corporations. The reality is government civil servants anywhere around the world should not be looking to personal remuneration as the reason why they serve. For civil servants, salary should not be the primary driving reason why we engage. Becoming wealthy is not why one goes into government service. If you want to make wealth, if you want to generate personal income, you look to the private sector and you look to entrepreneurship. And that, frankly, is the shift that's going to need to happen within the Sierra Leonean mindset. Politics should never be about getting rich. It should be about public service. If you want to get rich, go start a company.
The reason why we spending more time on this, because this is so important. I'm still trying to put one together, because if you look at nationality that owns business in this country, they will tell you that not many of them are Sierra Leoneans, but most will tell you they are foreigners. That will show you that as a nation, people may say we are not that kind of a business type oriented nation, and this is a struggling part on us. I mean, for us to change the mindset, for us to have that kind of a private investment mindset, what would be your advice in terms of shaping our mindset?
You know, it's funny, people say that, but then I drive through the markets here in Sierra Leone on my way to number 2 on the weekend, and it's pretty clear to me there's a robust private sector involving Sierra Leone.
What you're saying, those are small-scale businesses.
Well, small-scale business is where large-scale business begins. Okay. Look, in the United States, most businesses are small. Most businesses are what we call mom and pop organizations where they have one store, maybe two stores if they're lucky. But that's where large businesses ultimately grow from. So I don't think you have a problem with people not understanding or not valuing the private sector. I think the issues are really twofold. One, it's a question of capital and having access to capital,
which is a challenge.
Get capital from the
banks,
banks,
which is a major challenge,
which is a very real challenge in Sierra Leone, and one that I think there are things that can be done to address. And two, it's about bringing in the modern business skills that will enable people to run their business, however large or small, as a modern business, through accounting, through human resource management, through technology. So all of those skills have to be developed and brought into the economy. I think both of those are challenges that we can address. I think they're challenges that we need to address. And I think in some ways they're challenges that various people are already looking at how to best address. But by bringing in the foreign private sector, in some ways we can leapfrog over some of those initial hurdles. Because, of course, when foreign businesses come here to invest, they already bring their capital. Nobody from the outside is borrowing on the Sierra Leonean market. And they bring with them a certain business ethos, which is then transferred over to the Sierra Leoneans who work for them and then move out and begin and start their own businesses.
So let's talk about in practicality. Let's describe or probably look at the difference between the President Donald Trump's administration and the administration before Donald Trump. I mean, what has changed, in terms of support for Sierra Leone?
So I think what you will see change, and remember, we're not even 100 days into the administration, so I wouldn't anticipate any radical changes quite yet. But I think what you will see is that we will be shifting much of our support towards the private sector. There will be a renewed emphasis on how we can use tools like the U.S. Development Finance Corporation, the Export-Import Bank, the Trade and Development Agency to de-risk U.S. investment in Sierra Leone, to provide the support that's necessary for U.S. business to come and invest and conduct themselves here in a credible fashion, in a profitable fashion. I think you'll see a much greater emphasis on that and much less emphasis on, okay, let's craft a $100,000 foreign assistance program over here, $100,000 over here, $100,000 over there. The idea is going to be where we do foreign assistance, it's going to be very concentrated, and it's going to be to achieve very clear objectives that are in line with U.S. policy and interests. But that's not going to be what drives the relationship anymore. What's going to drive the relationship is our work together on moving the economy forward through private sector development.
Let's talk about immigration. I mean, this has sparked a lot of concerns, Sierra Leoneans, to put it, and we have been seeing, or we have been hearing, undocumented immigrants, deportation of undocumented immigrants and all. There's been figure in, figure out. There's been so much concern. Let's discuss about this.
So I don't think people should be concerned. Frankly, if people thought they had a right to remain in the United States illegally, they never had that right. They never should have had that right. They never should have had that expectation. The United States has very firm immigration laws. We always have. We have not always done the best job at enforcing them. We have decided we are now going to enforce those laws which have already existed. So if there are individuals who are living in the United States illegally without appropriate documentation, they need to leave. They need to leave voluntarily, and they need to leave now.
So let's talk about another thing again that's popped up probably some months back. It's about this traveling restriction. That still has to do with immigration issues, and I want us to go deep into this conversation so Sierra Leoneans may understand what's the present situation, or what's the situation may look like.
So the present situation is that the visa section at the embassy is operating as usual. Sierra Leoneans are welcome to apply for and obtain visas to travel to the United States. There is no restriction on that. There is no restriction on using visas.
Is it for now? for now, or something? Because
well, everything is always for now.
Okay.
The United States does not look. The ability to travel to the United States is a privilege. It is not a right. No foreigner has a right to go to the United States. We extend that privilege to those who we believe are going for legitimate purposes. Now, the reality is Sierra Leoneans have a bad habit of misusing their U.S. visas. In the latest statistics, 15% of those who travel on tourist and business visas either overstay or misuse those visas. 35% of students misuse or overstay those visas. Those rates are too high. They have to come down. If Sierra Leoneans persist in misusing visas, then we will need to look at all of the tools that are available to us in order to stop that trend. If Sierra Leoneans use their visas properly, great, then we don't have an issue. That's what we want. My hope is that this discussion that has been sparked by the Trump administration will convince Sierra Leoneans and others around the globe to simply adhere to U.S. law, use their visas appropriately, travel in line with the purposes that they're being granted visas for, stay not longer than the time period for which they are admitted, and then we won't have any issues or any need to have further discussion.
So are these reasons probably will put that major concern that we're seeing stiff measures being put in place?
Certainly, we always have a robust vetting process for everyone applying for a U.S. visa. That vetting process will continue to look at how Sierra Leoneans or other nationals are using their visas when they travel to the United States. If we find that certain profiles of traveler are more likely to overstay, then that profile of traveler is going to get increased vetting, both when they apply for a visa and probably when they arrive at the border by the Department of Homeland Security. It's all comes back, though, to the basic question of how individuals are using their visas. We're a fact-driven process. We look at the facts, we look at the data, we look at how people are using the visa, we look at the profiles of those who are misusing it, and we use that data to try to make better decisions about who to take a risk on in granting a visa or admitting them to our country.
Plenty of people, including myself, will be thinking if I have a visa that's probably 2 years, to spend in the United States of America, and I'm at the United States of America now, spending my time in close to 2 years. People may be thinking, well, the American government needs to do something that, my friend, your time is actually fast spent. You need to go back to your country. But who do we blame in this, whether the individual Sierra Leone government or the U.S. government?
Well, if you're breaking the law, it's your fault. It's no one else's. Let's be very clear. Nobody is forcing anyone to overstay.
Don't you think, given a visa, should have at some point a checkmate that, or a lot, probably a reminder that instead of us reaching this particular situation, the people that you're giving the visas and the time that they are actually going to spend in the United States of America. Do we have that kind of a check that, Mr. Brian Hunt, you've spent 2 years or 1 year 50 or 1 year 11 months, your next month will be the end of your visa?
So I think a couple of things. First, it is always an individual decision as to whether or not to violate the terms of your visa. No one is forcing anyone to overstay, and it is your personal responsibility to adhere to the law of the country that you're visiting. It's the same thing we expect of Americans who come to Sierra Leone. It would be lovely if we had all the resources in the world so that the Department of Homeland Security could track every single international traveler who comes to the United States. No country has those resources, nor would we want to be doing that, frankly. We are a free and open society. We want people to be able to carry out their lives as much as possible, free from the interference of government. Now, President Trump has been very clear that he's going to do everything in his power to enforce U.S. immigration law. That is why you are seeing the Department of Homeland Security taking a much more robust stance in enforcing the laws that are in place. You're seeing many more resources and personnel devoted to that. That, of course, is to the good. Law enforcement is not a bad thing. Making sure that the laws of our country are enforced is probably something that should have been done much more robustly in the past. But at the end of the day, if an individual chooses to overstay their visa, it is their personal responsibility and personal decisions. And frankly, if we find that people have overstayed their visas, it's going to have a broader impact upon our ability to issue visas in the future.
So let's turn our attention to tariff. It is another debate. How this will affect Sierra Leone, because we saw a 10% import tariff. People that will be exporting goods to the United States of America. We saw 10%. So let's discuss the implication of this, whether it's positive or it's negative, or how friendly will this be for our business.
Yeah, so it won't impact Sierra Leone. Okay. The reality is that what we have done, the 10% that you're talking about, is not specific to Sierra Leone. The Trump administration made a choice that in our trade policy, for those countries that receive our most favored preferences, they will now be set at 10% rather than 0%.
Okay.
That's not unusual around the globe. We were always unique, almost unique, in setting our most favored nation tariff rate at 0%. Most countries set it somewhere between 5 and 15. But the reality is Sierra Leone is still getting the most favorable treatment for its exports that are available when they go to the United States. So you are still receiving highly preferential treatment compared to most other countries who will have tariff rates that are set well above 10%, largely because those countries impose tariff rates and non-tariff barriers against U.S. imports, which Sierra Leone does not. So Sierra Leone receives our most favored trading status. Those countries that choose to engage in practices that are restrictive to U.S. exports to their countries will receive things other than our most favored trade status.
Considering the fact that we are still, I'll continue to use this. When it comes to exports, 10% may seems to be huge for Sierra Leone. And a lot of people want to see how we can have a friendly relationship between the United States and Sierra Leone, and which, of course, this may tend to be reduced in terms of people. I'm speaking from the Sierra Leone perspective, and this may tend to be reduced because you feel like this is so much burden on Sierra Leone. Do we consider this as some point?
So I think what people need to understand, and I understand a difficult concept. You don't focus on the 10%,
okay,
because all of your competitors have to pay at least 10%. There is no country in the globe that is exporting to the United States at a rate lower than 10% now. So that is the normal. That is the new normal. That is the new preferential rate. When you are a business, the concern is not what that preferential rate is. It's whether you are receiving that preferential rate, whether you are still getting more preferential treatment than your competitors. And Sierra Leone is getting considerably better treatment than its competitors. It is getting the best treatment that is available for its exports entering the United States.
So you talked about most of the support will be directed to the private sector. A lot of people, one of which you talked about the MCC and so much more. Let's highlight some of these benefits that probably Sierra Leone will have, or Sierra Leone is having at the moment.
Yeah, so we have numerous agencies within the United States government that look at how to promote private sector growth and provide different programs. I'll highlight a few of them. The Development Finance Corporation is probably our largest. They have the ability to take equity stakes in companies. They have the ability to provide loan capital financing at preferential rates to companies. They have the ability to offer what we call political risk insurance, which ensures that companies' investments overseas are safe, so if something were to happen, they will be adequately compensated. That's probably our largest program that is of greatest interest to most in the private sector. Secondly is the Trade and Development Agency. This is a much smaller entity that focuses primarily on doing feasibility studies for projects that are under development. So in projects where there is a strong prospect for U.S. exports, they will come in and do the necessary feasibility studies as a grant in order to enable companies to obtain private financing using those feasibility studies and move to the next phase of development. The third agency that we have is the U.S. Export-Import Bank. The U.S. Export-Import Bank provides favorable rates of financing for individuals who wish to purchase U.S. goods or equipment and bring it in to help with private sector development projects. Again, that's done at a favorable rate. U.S. EXIM has restrictions based upon market size, market capitalization, market risk as to where and in what segments of the economy it can operate. Here in Sierra Leone, those are fairly restrictive because you are a small economy with much greater capital risk, but they are there, and we do have the ability to tap them for certain projects. And then, of course, we have the U.S. Department of Commerce, whose entire job is to promote and facilitate U.S. exports to foreign countries. So they are working all the time in response to inquiries from your private sector, from your government, to try to find potential partners to work on projects here in Sierra Leone.
All right, so I'll allow you to rest a bit, and when we come back, we'll definitely continue with the conversation. Stay tuned.
Orange money go to good, don't come for you. Businessman and businesswoman, he don't come for you.
This time again, the delivery guy no dey give me all the money, and I dey lost track of all my payments then. I was supposed to run business like this.
Why you not register for Orange Money Kotoku?
Kotoku?
If you get small business na salon, this na your chance for make you upgrade am. Orange Money they introduce Kotoku na business line for all business them.
Kotoku no dey yaba.
Whether you na cookery seller, trader, barber, bike man or keke rider, this na una chance for receive payments directly to your Kotoku wallet from your customer them. And the best part now, Orange Money go pay you commission for receive payments na your Kotoku wallet. Cash out for free na any Orange Money office, franchise or kiosk point. Kotoku wallet now your business in better one. For register for Kotoku wallet, dial #144*8*10#.
I say Orange Money Kotoku, don't come for you.
OneXBet values your activity and wants to celebrate with you. Stay with us and enjoy OneX free bet.
So refreshing.
Reward just for you. Sign up at onexbet.sl with promo code FREESL to get a 200% welcome bonus up to 2,800 leones. Bet on the correct score from Tuesday to Monday with guaranteed free bets.
So refreshing.
Millions already winning. Join your friends and experience the thrill of victory with OneX free bets.
Orange Maxit, the super app where bring comfort and control now you want. With Orange Maxit, do all your transaction and fast and safe. Whether not for send money to Fambu, Paddy, or workmates, this transfer quick. You want recharge? Buy top up and data in just few seconds. Get daily, weekly, and monthly package them with just one tap. Stay in control with quick balance check and instantly manage your finances well. Whether now you top up, data, or transaction history once all day in one place. If you mistake, no worry. You fit reverse them instantly. Visit the marketplace now Maxit and buy the latest in them. Tickets to the biggest events them and even play games. All this day now you want. Do all your transaction them easy. Pay merchants, pay bills, transfer money from bank to wallets and cash out all now one app with safe. Easy. Search Maxit now at Google Play and iOS App Store. Download, install, and then register with your number and password. Open Maxit and see how it is simplify your life. Download Maxit today and get comfort now your fingertips.
Do you want to be your own boss? Or do you want to add more services to your business? Then look no further, because
So
BNB is
refreshing.
here for you.
What do you mean?
With BNB, you can now make money with just your smartphone. With the new revolutionary app, BNB POS, you can do remittance, bill payment, EDSA airtime top-up, and many more. All this from your smartphone, anywhere you want.
This sounds great.
That is not just all. The app also features real-time agent rebalancing and reconciliation.
Oh wow. But how can I get a BNB POS and start making
Epic
my
Radio.
money?
It's
So
so
refreshing.
simple. You can download the application on App Store or Google Play Store. Just search for BNB POS and download. Then call our customer service on 072 500 000, and within a short period of time, our agent will help you for the onboarding process.
Wow, no time to waste. Let me do this right away.
Oh yes, start making money today from anywhere in Sierra Leone. For more inquiries, contact our customer service on 072 500 000. With BNB POS, you shop my pockets.
All right, and welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, Sleek Television Channel 37, and also on Facebook at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And of course, Radio Garden and the UAD at eastern part of Kitansev, you can listen to it through Choice FM. And I'll introduce our calls them very shortly. I'll start to pick on our calls them on 079-994-993. We'll get a lot of calls coming. We'll start and pick the first call online. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ambassador. I'm appreciated that you're on radio to give us an assessment and a detailed analysis of what is going on with your country's foreign policy with regards to relation with Sierra Leone and other African countries. Suffice it to say that private investment is the driving force to economic development in every country. But I think there should be exception, Ambassador, because if we are talking about private-public investment, which I think would be a very good blend, because there should be this check and balances. Companies left all by themselves to carry out investment operations in countries, sometimes they do not usually live up to the expectations of the people, because it's either there is some insider infiltration in terms of bending the rules and policies so much that the outcomes for the people's expectation is being undermined. Then with the situation in America, 2 days ago there was a demonstration against your government with regard your president leading a totalitarian type of government. In terms of even its foreign policy in America, people are laid off, and the dreams of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington has been undermined by your president by changing the rules-based order, international rules-based order of your country, which has been promoting that rules-based order. And now Trump is trying to, create a sort of global confusion in the world economy. And if we could look at that, then it's like the American people voted for chaos and not for coherence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, when you call, stay within 1 minute. Let's give chance to other people to call. 079-994-993 is the number to be part of the Epic Morning Show. We have the U.S. Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Horns. Let's go online again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Saidu. I'm calling from Central.
Saidu, go ahead. Stay within 1 minute, please.
Yeah. Mr. Ambassador, the government of Sierra Leone used to benefit from your AGOA program when it was introduced, I think, way back in 2002. With introduction of this 10% tariff of duty on goods exported to America, is AGOA exempted from this regulation? Thank you very much.
All right, and 079-994-993, 079-994-993. We'll go online again. Calls are coming in thick and fast, Ambassador. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Evan. This is Nabompa.
Bumper, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador, I want to recall you about President Trump's statement saying America first. Why not democracy? Cutting down aid. It is safe for democracy for prevailing in the world, and also looking about increased tariffs. Will free, fair trade be healthy competition in the world? And also, can you recall about the traveling ban of the 2023 Election Act? Please stand towards people that violate those laws. And lastly, what is the penalty to overstay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. 079-994-993 is the number to be part of the Epic Morning Show. And we have in the studios with us the United States Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Hunt. Let's go online again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and who are you calling from, please?
Mohammed, I'm in my car.
All right, so stay with you more minutes, yeah?
Okay, just want to ask a few questions with regard the decision for America to pull out of the WHO. Yeah, I think according to the ambassador there, he said it is because they are not in line with the way the organization is being run. And if that is the case, I think the best thing that they should do is to ask for a restructuring rather than pulling out of the organization. Because mind you, this organization, they are created as a result of response to issues that happens in the world and not only America. So America pulling out of that particular organization means they are affecting a lot of people around the world. They being the greatest contributor to those organizations. So I think they should push for restructuring the organization or maybe realign some of their positions so that they can meet their demand. But pulling out, actually, for me, is not the good decision.
Thank you so very much. 079-994-993 is the number to be part of the Epic Morning Show. And please, when you called, just stay within 1 minute. Let's give more opportunities to people that want to contribute in the program. To stay online, for quite long. So 079-994-993 is the number to be part of the Epic Morning Show. And we have the U.S. Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Brian Hunt, and is part of the conversation. And we have been talking about so much that has been happening for the past 3 months in the President Donald Trump's administration, and when people Sierra Leone tend to see that there is a constraint in the relationship. But when you call, you can also do your conversation in Creole, and then we'll try to translate it. Okay, so let's go online. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ivan.
Good morning.
Concerned citizen.
Go ahead, stay within
Good
1
morning,
minute.
Ambassador Brian Hunt. Mr. Ambassador, I want to know what is the status of the MCC score sheet. Because so far as I understand, we have qualified for that MCC grant or loan. But what is the present status of that money? Thank you.
And 079-994-993, and when you call, they are stay within 1 minute, and you can also talk to in Creole, and we go try for translate time. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you going to the Lion?
The Lion, go ahead.
Yes. I want for me to ask the ambassador for me, waiting na democracy, waiting na the people the rights, when you vote, you know it will get you right by vote. That is democracy. I want to know if it's alone at 10 years or how we did. One thing I want to ask them, say, in your country, which I did, one grand institution will stop you because they emphasize for say, government for allow the local people and for let them able to invest. Some of we go invest for low in our drivers. Government can put say no because of certain people and they, for party and I want to know if your own country, if not so democracy, they work here. Thank you very much.
All right, so he's trying to ask, what is the meaning of democracy? I mean, whether, in terms of democratic principle, what the amount of years a government should spend for Sierra Leone, he thinks that it's 10 years. So he wants to know what is democracy in that direction. So let's go online and get and pick another caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ivan Bakayoko. From Duaga.
Bakayoko, go ahead. Stay with you in 1 minute, yeah?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Basically, what you need to try for saying, let me know more. I'm not saying in whatever the case may be, any country, yeah, having good leader and a very good one. But I think having a very good institution, let us forget a very good institution. I'm not saying even America, yeah, with the created on us from the policies, the way the come. I think we want to get a very strong institution. Anything we want to do, it will be very much like. So maybe advise the ambassador. Let them empower with institutions and not to the leader no more passive. When you empower institutions, then the country will go forward, going forward. And again, the compact, waiting out with chances. How many percent to get a compact? Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so he's trying to say that having a good leader is so much important, but having good institution is super important as well. So what are you going to do in terms of for us as a nation to have a very good institution, and what are the chances or the percentage for the MCC? What percentage do we stand in having at the MCC? So let's go online again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Bakar from Phoenix.
Bakar, go ahead from Phoenix.
My question I want to ask, we know some American are father of democracy. How do people here they go about for rate people them to this MCC? Because democracy in a salon, we're not able to see the creative they explain about democracy. Freedom of speech in no day in a salon. Then we see other things and they happen where then they terrorize the people there. People are not to demonstrate. People are not to demonstrate for the right. And all that they part of the MCC. They left the Abiyeri, the ambassador on 98.1. They talk about the MCC we tied with the tripartite agreement and all, saying that will make them able for release that money we this MCC grant. So make you explain give me about this MCC grant, how we don't do, waiting how we stand and waiting how we hope. Thank you.
All right, so you want to have a clarity on this. One, it said, and what do you understand what by democracy? I mean, he recognized that America is father of democracy. But let's look at the criteria for MCC. I mean, what are the things that we should meet to have that grant? And he said at some point, you had 98.1 saying that the MCC is tied with tripartite recommendation. So he wants you to have a clarity on that as well. 079-994-993 is the number to be part of the Epic Morning Show. We'll probably squeeze in 2 more calls because I think we have plenty message to respond to in the show this morning. So you're still listening to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, and you're watching us on Slick Television, Channel 37, Radio Garden, Choice FM, that's you within at the eastern part of Freetown, and of course my beautiful Facebook live viewers, you can also watch us through our Facebook live page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Logo line and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Pamusa de Wasat.
Pamusa, go ahead.
What I want to ask the ambassador, then couch boss then at this strong. Then
what are the county boss
then? Then what they pass through, then tell the other one they say they're not for pass through. Yes. Like for now, we're going a new road. People then they struggle. No more than Motukana they pass them boss then and they pass day. Then we all Motuka they would put a Motuka the taxi, then they pass a new road. Kona will kiss the road. If in this then democracy there. If it then they na America, or if in the democracy this all they fight for. You pass through, you not pass through. At least I want to know. And this time today, I want to to the ambassador for Lego explain fine like how people and they ask and would they act would they listen.
All right, thank you very much and for your time to be part of the Epic Morning Show. And of course we still have Ambassador Brian Hunt in the studio. Let's take in our last caller for today. Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Peculiar, good morning. Your name and where you calling us from, and stay within 1 minute.
This is Ibrahim.
All right.
Calling from the far east of Freetown.
All right, Ibrahim, go ahead.
I want to applaud the U.S. ambassador for owning your invitation this morning. My question for him, I have two questions for the ambassador this morning. Firstly, Mr. Ambassador, to honor the tripartite agreement, but up to now, nothing has come out of it. And secondly, what is the status for these immigrant visas vis-a-vis the filing process? It's yet to happen. What's your take on this?
Okay. Thank you so very much. I think we'll allow Ambassador to respond to some of your questions and also that we'll allow them answer it all. So let's go ahead, Ambassador.
Sure. Happy to try to respond to as many as we can in the time we have allotted. In terms of the question about the private sector, look, I firmly believe there have to be regulations when we're dealing with the private sector. My government certainly has regulations. We have hosts of laws that we require private sector investors to follow. I would encourage your government to look at its framework as well as it moves towards private sector development. But really, those are questions to take up with the Sierra Leonean government. Private-public partnerships are wonderful things. We think they're very appropriate in many cases. In some cases, it's better for the private sector to invest directly. But the framework under which that investment happens really is a question for the government of Sierra Leone to focus on. I do agree with the caller's concerns about corruption, with the caller's concerns about ensuring that we don't have monopolistic situations in which one company controls an entire sector. I think all of those are valid, and all of that can be dealt with under Sierra Leonean law, and I think the government should continue to work to evolve its laws to make sure that it's ready to receive private sector investment, both domestic and international. On the questions related to the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act is legislation. Right now, that legislation expires at the end of September of this year. I do not know whether our Congress will renew it or in what form our Congress will renew it. That is under discussion right now in various congressional committees. But so long as the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act remains in place, Sierra Leone will continue to benefit from that act in terms of its duty treatment. What I would emphasize, though, is that what the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act deals with are duties that are applied on individual goods above and beyond the baseline rate for most favored nations. So, for example, there are certain goods that in addition to the 10%, there is other duty that is applied under our harmonized tariff schedule. And that was the same when the baseline duty rate was 0%. So for those goods where there is a duty above and beyond the baseline rate, which is now 10%, and they are listed as exempt under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, Sierra Leone would not pay that additional duty. They would simply pay the baseline rate of 10%. So it is still extremely beneficial to Sierra Leonean exporters, particularly vis-a-vis countries that may be competitors that are not part of AGOA, but it is a time-limited program. I do not know what the future will look like, and it doesn't eliminate the 10% base tariff. It eliminates the tariff on the goods that are above and beyond that 10%. On the questions related to democracy, very important issues for Sierra Leoneans to debate, something that we feel very much belongs in a national dialogue. We have been very supportive of the process that the government and the opposition have agreed to under the Agreement for National Unity and the tripartite process. We remain very supportive of that. We think it is the right framework to try to move the country forward to better, freer, fairer elections and a more equitable relationship between the two parties. I would take slight issue with those who suggest there hasn't been progress. There's actually been quite a bit of progress that has been made.
Is it tripartite recommendation or holding the MCs? That was what someone was asking.
Yeah, so the Millennium Challenge Corporation has statutory requirements that are in place that lay out what makes a country eligible for MCC. One of those requirements is that the country has to be continuously moving along a democratic trajectory. As part of that, one of the things that we are going to look at is whether or not the country has done what it itself said it was going to do in terms of implementing the tripartite recommendations and the agreement for national unity. So there is a direct linkage. This all comes into play when we're looking at the entry into force of the compact probably 18 months from now. But it is one of the criteria that will be looked at as we move towards entry into force, and it will be very important that the government and the opposition have met those benchmarks that they themselves have laid out in the tripartite agreement in order to show that we are making continuous progress towards a more democratic system in Sierra Leone.
All right, so continue with the rest of the messages.
So I think on the tripartite question, look, there's a great deal that's been done. The government and the opposition, and frankly the development partners, myself included, need to do more to get that message out to the public.
Okay.
At this stage where we are in the tripartite piece of that, there is draft legislation that has been prepared by the Attorney General's office that addresses the legislative and constitutional changes that need to be made pursuant to that agreement. That legislation should shortly be moving forward through the Parliament, through the Cabinet to the Parliament, and then of course there will be parliamentary debate and hopefully passage of that legislation. At the same time, the various electoral management bodies have been tasked to produce the regulatory changes that were demanded by them through the tripartite process. Some of those regulatory changes have already been concluded. Others are in process. There is a steering committee that has been set up that is monitoring this entire process. So we're actually making what I think is reasonable, sustained progress towards the goals of legislative, constitutional, and regulatory change in line with the tripartite recommendations. Unfortunately, because much of this, frankly, is very technical and involves legislative drafting, it's unlikely that the public's going to see it until it is introduced into Parliament. At that point, I think people will have a much better idea of where we are, and then there will be a much more public debate process. But we have to get to that place through all of this behind-the-scenes work that goes into drafting and pulling together legislation. In terms of the question about immigrant visas, our immigrant visa process has not changed. It is a lengthy process. People need to understand that when you apply for an immigrant visa, it can take a year or longer in order for that visa to be processed because they are much more complex than non-immigrant visas. The way in which that process begins is with someone filing a petition on your behalf with one of our visa centers in the United States. That visa center will then ask you to submit all of the necessary documentation that you have to do in order to be considered for an immigrant visa. And that, depending on the type of immigrant visa, can be anything from a marriage certificate to birth certificates to DNA evidence of relationships to educational qualifications, to employment qualifications. All of that has to be submitted to the Visa Center in Washington. Once they have a fully completed package, that is when they will send your case out to an embassy for interview. And that process, again, they have to do all of the vetting, they have to do all of the screening. So this process takes considerable time, and it always has. An immigrant visa is not something that's going to be turned around in a matter of weeks. So it has always been a lengthy process. It will probably always be a lengthy process. So folks just need to remember that. So when I hear from people, I haven't heard I have filed for an immigrant visa a month ago and I haven't heard anything. Well, yes, you haven't heard anything because you're far from being at the end of that process. Okay. It's going to take quite a bit of time.
I think someone was asking immediately after the election in 2023, there are traveling bans, and he wants to know. I mean, you have certain people that those people were banned from going to the United States of America. He wants to know what's up with that. What has been happening around that direction? Are the bans still on? Or probably have you?
Yeah, so the simple answer is yes.
Okay.
Those individuals that were determined to be ineligible remain ineligible. That determination by the Secretary of Ineligibility remains in place.
Okay. All right, so finally, Sierra Leone is blessed with minerals, and you initially or earlier on talked about investment in private sector, and that is super important in terms of if we want to grow as a nation. And for us, we are rich with minerals and all. How will the U.S. help Sierra Leone, according to this person he's asking, to make us coming from that poverty stage as a country to be middle class or rather for a rich country?
So minerals are a wonderful potential source of development if the resources are used appropriately. We're very fortunate that we're seeing evolution in the mineral industry. One, to have much greater Sierra Leonean participation. The fact that Sierra Rutile is now owned by Leone Oil, a Sierra Leonean company, I think shows the opening of that sector to Sierra Leonean investors. You also have significant Western investment coming in through entities like Marampa Mines, which are setting a new global standard within the industry. I think the challenge for the government now is to make sure that it has in place the appropriate processes to understand what is being produced in each of the mines, to understand the amounts of revenue that are due to it from that production, and then to make sure that that revenue is invested appropriately in development projects. And this is not an easy thing to do. I'll be very honest, many African countries have suffered more from their mineral industries than they have gained because the government has either not been in a position to regulate and collect the necessary revenue, or the revenue that is due to it, or that revenue has been misused once it landed in state coffers. So it is a challenge, particularly when you're dealing with extractives, to make certain that the government, which will always play a significant role both in the regulation and the expenditure of that revenue, has the processes in place to be able to do that effectively. One of your callers mentioned strong institutions. I think this is where strong institutions really come into play. And it's going to be very important for Sierra Leone to continue to invest in its institutional framework as it attempts to harness what I think is a tremendous potential now in the mineral industry, but one that has to be very carefully monitored if it's going to equal real private sector development.
I mean, it's the suspension of foreign aid, and you talked about this is important because we want to have a clarity on this. I mean, the tripartite recommendation and that of the MCC, and according to what you said, it plays a critical role in terms of having the MCC. So do you think it's a major stop if we as a nation, the two political parties, did not meet up to this tripartite recommendations?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a serious problem. I don't know how one would get around that given the integral nature of the entire tripartite process to democratization. Now, that said, as I said earlier, I think we're actually making really good progress, so I don't think we're going to run up against that.
Do we have 80 to 87 recommendations, and all of these recommendations should be met?
So our view has always been that the agreement for national unity and the tripartite process should be carried out in full. Clearly, Parliament plays a role. Parliament will have debates. Parliament is a sovereign entity and will need to consider each of the legislative recommendations, and they may make changes, they may amend things, and if that's what the two parties decide they want to do in Parliament, we're certainly not going to hold that against them. But at the end of the day, we need to look at whatever comes out of the Parliament, whatever comes out of the electoral management bodies, and be able to say that it represents a credible change to the electoral system.
Do we have a timeline on this?
Do I have a timeline as to when your government plans to move forward with its electoral reforms? No, that's something you'd need to talk to first.
No, what I'm saying, the MCC, I mean, before
the MCC.
Do we have a timeline here?
I expect in about 18 months we will be at a place where the government wants to enter the MCC into force, and that's when we will need to look at the entirety of the eligibility requirements again.
Thank you so very much for your time to be part of the Epic Morning Show. And we appreciate your time for coming here this morning.
Very happy to do it. It's been my pleasure.
Do we have some at some point? Let's talk to you for a while.
No. I decided a long time ago I'm not going to attempt to speak Creole. I'll only embarrass myself.
Why? What have you learned so far? I mean, like Kushe, Audibody, I mean...
Sure, I can understand Creole just fine when it's spoken to me, but I have never studied the language and I wouldn't wish to embarrass you all by attempting to speak it badly.
So what I will do now is I will asking you, waiting will be your final comment for this program to fumble them, we don't listen to you.
Well, I think I'd say a few things. First, the Sierra Leone-U.S. relationship is strong. It is evolving. It is changing, and that's appropriate given the different stages of development that Sierra Leone is at. I think that we have many more opportunities ahead of us. I understand that there's going to be grief anytime there is change, anytime there is loss of certain programs that people are very attached to, but I think we have to look at what is best for the overall relationship, and I firmly believe that moving it to a place where we are focused on driving forward private sector development is going to be the best thing for both of our countries. And that's really what we're looking for, are policies that make both the United States and Sierra Leone safer, stronger, and more economically prosperous.
Thank you so very much once more for your time to be part of the Epic Morning Show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, one for say plenty thank you to our callers, our viewers, our listeners. Plenty boku thank you to una for an attempt for be part of the Epic Morning Show. And also, well, we appreciate you now at any time, and also thanks for choosing us this morning and for wanna make we be part of our morning schedule. Thank you so much. And the Epic Sport and Entertainment lined up for you. Reginald Brian Coker, Ojukutu Soya, sorry, is all set for the second segment of the Epic Morning Show, and so much to happen in the Sierra Leone Football Association Congress, and we saw waiting happen on Friday, the ACC and all. So, but if you want to know more about happenings around SLFA Congress and with the outgoing president, and you can stay tuned for the second segment of the Epic Morning Show. We'll entirely pay attention to football. Till I talk to you again, my name is Ivan Julius Lee. Have yourself a wonderful and a beautiful Monday. Till I talk to you again, bye bye.
Forget what me matter. motoka. Push him. See them there. Like you fast begin play with big money. I love them so. Remember fine. Like you fast go overseas. I love them so. See them there. Like you fast begin play big motoka. I love them so. See remember fine. Like you fast go snap like now. Pada babu. So why not me turn before they vex your face? Why not me turn before they back your face? Holy Ghost fire, burn them, send them back to sender. Holy Ghost fire, burn them, send them back to sender. Holy Ghost fire, burn them, send them back to sender. Holy Ghost fire, burn them, send them back to sender. Hey.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the starts of the week. And I so want to welcome you to which they make the headlines on the sport field. And let we just start for run them through down. So inside rugby, Kenya be done defeat Spain 12-5 for advance to the final of the Singapore Cup. Well, Africa is going to make headlines in rugby, and we don't see South Africa don't be a strong force, and now Kenya don't make headlines. Olympic champions Gabby Thomas don't claim the top prize inside the first ever Grand Slam track for women's side. And of course, we all know Gabby Thomas, an Olympian, and of course, she don't be the first woman for win the first ever Grand Slam track. Well, there are some positive news as the Sierra Leone national team scout Molai Kamara they don't meet with Arsenal youth team player Usman Kamara for convince the player for represent Salone inside the national team. Well, the player, of course, don't ready now for play for Salone under 20. Now the AFCON will take place inside Egypt. Abdoulaye Jumaba, after he been sustained an injury, the player will return back to in club. And yesterday they will win against Saint Etienne by 1-0. And Jumaba don't keep in third clean sheet of the season, and this don't make him in 3 starts for loans inside the French League 1. Chelsea defender Wesley Fofana will be out until the end of the current season after the player we don't pick one injury, and Chelsea don't confirm say the player don't undergo a hamstring surgery, and of course it's not going to be available soon. And finally, the Sierra Leone Football Association Ordinary Congress will be slated for take place over the weekend. Now Radisson Blue be end in disarray as a lot of ugly incidents be happen in that particular congress. About more details you could get shortly with Reginald Brown Osoya with the expert them in the studios. For now, I've been Mohammed Tobi. Have a wonderful Monday.
Good morning and welcome to the very first edition of the Entertainment Updates here on the Epic Morning Show with me, Big Daddy. Inside with news this morning, Sierra Leone and Afrobeats uprising star Harmony don't finally drop a long-awaited song we entitled Move On, which I feature the incredible JJ, but of course already the song hitting 1,000 plays in less than 24 hours after its release. That's now a big one for the brother man Harmony. And also they call me Zamzam, a new song we entitled Some Side Don't Claim. Now the #1 spot on the audio mark was a feature Bakiteno, April and Creole Messiah. Inside other news, well, Cardinero song Essence from the Heroes album was feature Modernine, one of the OG from Nigeria when it comes to hip hop. Of course, the album, which we released 1 year ago, has now surpassed 77.9k streams on Audiomack. And also, renowned gospel minister Arnold K. Fofana don't finally release a latest gospel song, of course, we entitled Oh My Spirit, on all the media platform there. And also, congratulations to Sierra Leonean fast rising Afrobeat singer April, as he was verified on Audiomack. Green Vision Music present Step G Camera on a new song we entitled Life, Not a Competition, which are in future, of course, one of Freetown finest, Innocent Fela Kuti. Well, this song set for drop anytime soon. And finally this morning, well, according to the last King Cardinero, trying for explain about the all game final compilation. So according to him, he say this is a mixture of the new Black Leo acts them way come for showcase waiting and get, and also the old one there. Well, of course, it's a this a project of 12 bangers them, which of course the very first one where in future Pete Weezy, when I thank God, will be dropping soon. But the great news here is, so PM the player and Fahim don't come back finally. Well, of course, this is a great one for the Black Leo fans. Of course, we know what this mean. Anyway, Famulem, let's have a taste of Oh My Spirit by Arnold K. Fofana. But of course, this song, they're out now. This now will get for you here this morning here on the Epic Morning Show with me, Big Daddy. So we meet at 4 today na Monday. And I thank you Monday.
Me man, you don't go believe this. Orange Money cash out fee don't count on to only 1% for any amount you cash out.
Young lady,
it's
not who say Orange Money they charge so now refreshing. 1% for cash out.
Yes, sir. Just 1% of the amount where you want for cash out.
So if I cash out 1,000 leons, now 10 leons no more they pay?
Exactly. 10 leons for 1,000 leons.
So me picking, if I cash out 100 leons, now 1 leon are they pay?
Yes, ma. Just 1 leon for 100 leons.
Wait, ma. If I pull 50 leons, that's now only 5 cents that they pay?
Now you don't talk so.
Wow, this one fool me much. I know one day here is such low fee. Orange Money don't make things easy for we all.
Now, cash out for only 1% of the amount with the widest agent network, Nasalone. Now the cheapest cash out fee. No more stress, no more high fees. Just easy transaction. Orange Money, they any outside you go.
It's Epic Radio. So refreshing.
In a world where brands, businesses are struggling to capture the attention of customers, we focus on cutting-edge marketing communications that communicate, engage, and interact directly with our clients' target. Our vast experience in the fascinating world of marketing communications, event management, below-the-line activations, and more ensures that we deliver nothing but amazing results. We are the agency of everything creative. We are Priority Solutions Limited. Talk to us for all your marketing communications, multimedia productions, event management, experientials or activations, media management, public relations, and more. We are a trusted brand, and the results and quality of our services can be seen through the brands we have worked with. Visit our website at www.prioritysolutions.co or call us on +232 76 1032. Priority Solutions. We know what works for you. We have what works for you. We do what works for you. Priority Solutions. What works?
Not take you enemy and pull bangana fire because Shansi for make yourself host. Hello, good morning and welcome to the Monday and first EMS review segment where they come to you on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, the first edition for this week. And today they can look at exclusively SLFA on the spotlight. One over corruption allegation against the leadership, and also the aborted conduct of the Congress, where get a lot of talking points. So it's going to be a two-in-one conversation in which we will look at the corruption allegation against the leadership of the the Sierra Leone Football Association. And so for that, I get three gentlemen in the studios. Banas Abbas Kagbo, the public education officer for the Anti-Corruption Commission in the studios now. Good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show review segment.
Good morning and happy to be here today.
I also get Darlington Sola Sogbo. Darlington, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and good morning to viewers and listeners.
I see all man get book this morning. And I also get Hilton JFK John, senior sport journalist. Good morning, Hilton, and welcome.
Yes, good morning, my brother. Good morning to the other brothers in the studio.
All right, so we'll go quick one for a short break. Immediately after the break, I'll start with a review of the various newspaper, and then we start with discussion. Don't touch the dial. My name is Regina Buano, so I remember you watch you live on Slick TV channel 37 on Epic Radio FM 99.3, and also with the live on Facebook, live on Radio Garden, and live on online as well. So we'll go for Alright, so we start with the review of the various newspaper, and we first speak this morning. Now the Independent Observer newspaper, we get a big banner headline, Mr. President, can we talk? Part 133, and you also get why VP Julde Jallo should lead SLPP in 2028. Another headline inside the front page of the Independent Observer newspaper, it gets Healing Jesus Campaign bring message of hope to Freetown. All this and plenty more you go find now the front page of the Independent Observer. Away from that one, we move quickly to the Awoko newspaper. We got a big banner headline, from a hole in her heart to a wall of hope, Bobby Mariama miracle. And also you get Freetown players at 40, the bold beginning of a cultural revolution, chapter 3, and you get the first generation 1985 to 1992 Leshite people. When US imposes 10% tariff on Sierra Leone despite 90 million trade surplus. All this and plenty more you go see at the front page of the Awoko newspaper. And quickly, my final take will be the Concord Times newspaper. We got a big publication. It gets indebted Jala University fails to honor obligation with Concord Times, and also beyond the number, why African private sector development need a reset. There is a photo of Dr. Yankana Manti Jones, now an economist, lecturer, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, and also get Richard Conte to embark on a month nationwide tour. And there is a photo of Richard Conte, one of the well-known Black Bear nominee for the All People's Congress Party. And also the last one I go take, Picking Business facilitates trip for 1 year, seek Mariama to France. All this and plenty more than at the front page of the Concord Times newspaper. Well, not now we'll get in for the various newspaper. We'll start with conversation now. And like I tell you, it's going to be a two-in-one conversation in which we will look at from Friday to Saturday or Sunday. It has been a lot of, news that we get to deal with sports. It all started with the on Thursday night when the Anti-Corruption Commission of course interview or question the president of the SLFA, the acting general secretary, and the head of finance Ibrahim Ba, and them detain them. And then on Friday the press conference was held at the Integrity Building of the Anti-Corruption Commission, and on that press conference a lot of things in the commissioner reveal. We of course we will get Bernard for comment on them shortly, and after that we saw the president release on bail for go and conduct Congress. On Saturday Congress as well. Now the Radisson Blue Mamiyoko Hotel, of course, we also see a lot of things at Mamiyoko. The president came earlier and he left, and a lot of incidents occur we make Congress not go ahead as planned. We'll begin come to you all of them things in there, and according to the executive committee, they say the president, when Thomas Daddy Brahma, cite insecurity as one of the reasons why make even left the Congress venue. But let's start quickly with the ACC press conference we then get on Friday. I'll start with Bernard Abbas Kagbo, when the public education officer for the Anti-Corruption Commission. The press conference will not be the biggest highlight in that press conference.
All right, thank you very much. Say ACC we like for they're very close to the public. So now one by the rationale them for let we call that press conference the first, because we know say anything they do, not to we they do, and not to for we say for they do, how they do and for the public. And if you able get you information across to the people them, I think say you then able help you in the fight against corruption, because we no more not able to do them, but we need for do in concert with the people them we give you the mandate for do that. So the highlight of the press conference, as you say in your open statement, the allegations them against the leadership of the Sierra Leone Football Association, which we call SLFA. Well, I say allegations because we need for go to person need for go to court first and then prove and say this person guilty or not. anytime we conduct an interview, an investigation in a particular matter, we come back to the people and tell them, say, now this we find, now this we find, now this we find, and now this, now this, now this, now the next, now the way forward. So now exactly that we do. On Friday, we'll call that press conference for tell the people them say, we've been to investigate this and this and this, when are the leadership of SLFA, and at this we don't find so far, and then going forward, maybe now this we go do, or now that we go do. So the main thing now for tell the people them how far we don't go with an investigation we start some 6 months ago. And you go agree with we say if the people they don't know what the ACC they do, that's the lead to assumption. Then go begin assume say this, especially when you don't see people of that kind caliber they hold them and detain them at ACC, and everybody where you're ACC they think a lot of things. So a lot of rumors they go out on social media and everybody gets their own version, but it's been good for we say come out and tell the public say this now the real version of the entire story, and I think say that may resonate with a lot of people.
We see staggering figures being revealed by the commissioner, over 720,000 US dollars. According to the commissioner, the money then they transfer from the Sierra Leone Football Association account to the personal account of the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, and also cites about 400 and something million leons. I can't get the exact figure now. I mean, we also confirm say the money then they've been transferred. Is this some of the reason why we decide for bringing in the president and acting secretary and also head of finance for question into the SEC?
Yes, exactly. The allegation now that financial mismanagement are one, and then two.
Is it the key aspect of financial mismanagement? Or
well, we are not going to say every offense na the Anti-Corruption Act na a key something.
Okay.
So you get financial mismanagement and abuse of office.
Okay.
I think that the two main things and the way the press conference, well, the investigations around that.
Okay.
Now you find out like you say money then they way then transfer directly to the personal account of the president of SLAFA, and then we also see where then go against FIFA and SLAFA then rules them when they pay cash in hand. We not for B. You get I think you get section 57 we say na through bank then for they do most of them
transfer.
Yes, according to the regulations them and all 57(2) I think so.
Okay.
We say now, but we see say you they get money directly to the president in hand. We not so is supposed to be according to their own regulation now. So which means you they abuse the office and go against that in the first place. Also we see Usai documents and they will in a part of the signature and then in the witness to the document again. I don't think it ever happen in the world. You sign and then you be a witness to your signature. It not make sense. You understand?
Okay.
So all lengthy and they like now abuse of office because you take and say I can make and then approve. And we get a lot of other discrepancy them from award of contract. So you say the least qualified bidder now end up for win the bid for what reasons where the investigation proves say these people the receipts them even though they submit not to authentic receipts them. You go one for say no committee there and all, but at the end of the day investigation proves say there was not even a committee who be the vet sent in a day. And then you also make Usai then get an executive committee where then get the
exco committee.
Yes, we tell where some side then state and clearly say don't do this. You understand? Then
that is a change of signatories as well.
Exactly. Don't do this, but he went ahead and do it. So and some of them so that then abuse of office and then financial mismanagement. Now.
I come back to you shortly. I can to the gentleman there. Before I come to Elton John, Darlington, you also been in at the press conference. We start with the press conference and we go land to the Congress. I don't know how to take the first bite. When that be your biggest highlight from that press conference held at the Integrity Building of the ACC?
Your biggest highlight was you being a signatory, you witness your signatory. You understand? Since that happened, when the ACC boss, proved that, you understand, I start for do a more research, you understand, for see another fraud cases them we don't happen, for see similar occurrences happen. To my greatest surprise, well, I'm still shouting, you understand, it has never happened. For me, that's the biggest crime of human integrity. That shows that it doesn't matter the school where you go, where you lack knowledge and wisdom, you cannot be anything. You understand? Because you, as a signatory, this is a big offense. If all the crimes allegedly is an allegation. First, you understand? If they're not found and guilty for nothing, but the only one we must take as the most key important thing, you be a signatory, a witness, and Ben Kelfala has practiced for so many years. You understand? He says since he go say la go na law school, the intention self say he done. He has never seen that happen. That's the one thing. Yeah. Then we get figure. I said it there are some years back. I said I talk but the bid, that bid with the award contract concerning that
for the construction of artificial turf,
for the construction of the pavilion.
Okay, the pavilion.
The academy. I do my investigation. I said it. They have never paid a NASIT before the institution we did it. They only pay NASIT and NRA prior to where they don't bid the contract when journalists then begin investigate. They have never, I said it, they never, in fact, they pay a backlog of.
That means you get any evidence towards that claim?
I publish it in one of my articles. You understand? Right, you yourself can do point to that. In fact, to ascertain the confirmation, the ACC don't do it. To ascertain me confirmation by then, ACC are proving me right. That is one. Imagine,
so you feel ACC don't vindicate you?
Huh?
I say you feel ACC don't vindicate you?
I just confirmed what I initially posted years back, but that company.
How many years? 1 year or 2 years back?
I think last year it was 2024.
Okay.
Early of 2024, we'll get that bid or something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, then you get $720,000. Now, if people don't understand what in a mina salon, I convert them to the in the present rate to get in loans here. We now will rate to the colors 24 loans. 2024. We mean say 2,400 loans at per single dollar.
Okay.
And they give up to 17 billion all loans.
Over
17 billion. You can check on 24 at 720. Like the exact figure, yeah.
Okay.
Because when it comes in terms of figure, I want to be accurate. You know, say you know start. If you know you are not good in maths, you better go back to primary school. It's 17 billion 280 million all loans.
Okay.
Because na dani da mamina falaba understand all loans. If na new loans, na 17,280,000 of that money where ACC say not to me say this money they come for the people of Sierra Leone through SLFA.
Okay.
Now, in fraud, the biggest thing in fraud, having a banking experience, is for an account, you understand, a company account, get a signatory, you get A signatory, you get B signatory.
Okay.
Most company, A and B for sign,
okay,
they can go.
Okay.
A and A can sign, then can withdraw, or they can do transfer.
Right.
You understand? But B and B go sign, but with a limited amount. They go get a threshold for amount.
Okay.
Now look where it's placed, where ACC say you change signatory without the approval of the ESCO. You understand? Before you change signatory, into don't come you forget a letter where they be written come off from the ESCO or that the board chairman or board with them call. Where they help for say.
So in your opinion, that is a crime as well?
That is a crime. It's a fraud. In fact, I was expecting the ACC to also call the banks. You understand? For let them show sufficient documents.
Okay, ACC, I will come back to them shortly. 18, you have been a part of the press briefing. I saw you, I mean, you've been there. You even asked a question to the commissioner with regards that the ACC don't investigate several cases them for football, but they know one they don't come out for win any one of them cases. But away from that, your question will be asked. What do you take home from that press conference?
For me, what I sense out vendetta in that.
Vendetta from who? From the ACC?
Yes, I'm coming. Allow me, please.
Okay.
I sense out vendetta from the corridor of the ACC. If the ACC, they tell the public, say they were investigating the president and some members, comprises of the acting secretary, the finance officer. 6 months ago, did ACC inform the public that we are investigating these personality? The answer is no.
The ACC here, the answer.
Yes,
don't speak for them, please.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Okay.
6 months ago.
Okay.
Then they investigate these personalities. Now, 3 days to Congress, or just 24 hours, not even 3 days. 24 hours to Congress, we saw the press release came out from ACC telling the public that they'll go and explain to the media about their findings. The word is findings. When they tell possible findings, now we don't conclude everything In the statement of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Francis Benkel-Fala, told us that investigation is still going. These personalities were invited for questioning. The president of the Football Association, the general secretary, and the finance officer. If you are still investigating, 6 months, one day to Congress, you call these individuals for a questioning. The answer is from all the 6 months. The
commissioner said they come, go and come.
Yes. So from all the 6 months when ACC they investigate, ACC not out the conclusion yet when they call for a press conference. If you listen in that press conference, it reaches certain time with the sense of the body language of the commissioner, Francis Benkel-Fala, with all due respect. When certain question asked, you can recall the question asked by senior colleague Umar Fofana, Mohamed Fajabari. A reply was in response was when we reach the
bridge, you will cross.
Thank you very much. So it shows that the
but
ACC,
how do you interpret that one?
Yeah, for me, they are not prepared. The ACC, they were not prepared.
You think so?
Because everybody was expecting, or everybody was thinking, that calling the journalists to a press conference, ACC go tell we say, we have concluded our investigation, these are the charges, or these are the indictments. This was the way how it went during the Aisha Juansi case. When Aisha Juansi was invited,
but it was not the same commissioner, correct?
Yes, it was then
Adi Macaulay.
Continue. The case was continued by Francis Benkel-Fala.
Yes.
Thank you. And in Francis Benkel-Fala case, you know the outcome, you know the result. So in the Aisha Juansi case, ACC finished their investigation. Aisha Juansi was invited. Because of one or two reasons, and not be honored the invitation on time. What they did, they went down the Football Association, arrested Aisha Juansi, and then called me to a press conference and announced the charges against Aisha Juansi. But in this case, it is different from the president of the Football Association. He was invited on Thursday, detained, and we were called to a press conference on Friday with all allegations. The question was,
but before
any charge, listen carefully.
Yeah, okay, allow you for land.
The question was, that came out from journalists, is there any charges leveled against these personalities as we speak? The response from the commissioner was, no charges yet, no indictment yet. But they were detained. At the end of the day, 24 hours to Congress. I can confirm to you, so there were calls that came out.
From who?
There were calls from senior government officials.
Wow.
Instructing the commissioner to release.
These are strong allegations.
Yes, I'm coming. I stand by my words.
Okay.
I stand by my words. I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm a journalist.
Okay.
There were calls. I can't give you the reason why there were calls.
Okay.
There were calls from senior stakeholders in the government saying that not bring confusion kind of football for now. SLF no get Congress Friday and Saturday, you hold the president on Thursday. What went wrong? The bail that was given or the bail that was allowed for this personality was just a minimum bail. If you say this person don't take $570,000, $700,000. Listen carefully, you the presenter. This person, according to the ACC commissioner, don't take or misappropriate $770,000, 400 and something million. What type of bail are you expecting? Do you know the bail that these personality went through? Individual cam, ID card, then signed to. Now go and go so. So for me, I was there. I was part of the process.
I saw when the president came in and all, but when they released on bail, you didn't say idea.
Yes, I was there. I was there from the start of the process to the end of the process, and if the process continues, I will continue to be there. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
So in this case, when I came home, I started to ask myself a question. Francis Benkel-Fala is an intelligent individual. He's an intelligent man. He's one of the landed lawyers in the country. But there are times when you push for do certain things, when they knock you from your back, you feel the heat. That's what he felt on that particular day at the end of the conference.
Right.
So for me, I don't think the ACC commission or the ACC commissioner and his team, they completed their work. If you have completed your work, come with charges.
Right.
Come with indictment.
And come back to
no indictment. Let me conclude.
Yeah.
No indictment.
Okay.
No charges. Just explanation about ZE. The SLFA, let me tell you this. Transfer of money. I will not defend the president directly. I'm not the PRO for the president. But what I've learned, what I've investigated, what I've had evidence of, there is a consultancy down the Football Association sent by FIFA and CAF. Any transaction SLFA want do, the consultant sent in by FIFA and CAF, they approve the payment. So some payments, where according to the ACC they are investigating now, ask who approved this payment. Secondly, I want my brother to learn this. He said the football association, they pay man-to-man money. They are paying. Leon Stars. Is Leon Star not part of the football association?
But they are not paying.
I'm coming. You don't listen?
Yeah,
you don't listen?
I listen, yeah.
Leon Star, not all games in the East of Sierra Leone paid by the government. So
under Thomas Zari.
I'm coming. Allow me.
Under TDB.
Allow me. Let me conclude.
Okay.
We have the home base. Who pays the home base?
But the home base is not Leon Star.
I'm coming. Allow me.
Okay, go ahead.
You listen, the man, he say the SLFA statute or SLFA law, they say SLFA.
Yeah.
You don't say Leon Star who. I just cite an example.
Okay.
SLFA, they pay man-to-man money. 2 of us. Answer and sign it for you, Regina.
SLFA pay.
I'm coming.
Money on which category? I cannot answer without knowing the question.
Let's clarify that side.
Okay, 18.
Our under 17. I'm coming. Okay, let me round up.
Okay.
The under 17 players, when they went to competition, how did they pay them?
That SLFA, I mean, I don't know the mode of
now SLFA they pay them. How do they pay for SLFA? They pay the players.
I cannot speak for SLFA. I can't tell you shortly. I want to give second. Conclude.
There is a voucher.
Okay.
You the player or the individual or official, you come, you sign for your DSA or your allowance, we get piece on the contract.
All right. Thank you very much.
SLFA they pay man-to-man payment.
Thank you very much. I'll come back to you shortly. Again, we will discuss about the Congress, but Bernard, quickly, it make a lot of comments. According to he sense that the ACC was not prepared, and he sense as well that the ACC was pushed for do waiting and do so. You there now, and you get any response to it?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know whose angle me brother come from, but it's okay. I can understand. It's okay. I can understand.
Okay, go ahead,
yeah. One problem we don't face na Salone in the fight against corruption are that if the thief man are my friend, not a thief man. You understand?
Yeah.
If the thief is my friend, he's not a thief.
He's not a thief.
And if the thief is my enemy, yes, he's a thief. You get a lot of journalists them where they bash at we now, where we get some press conference and indictment they don't make, where they were singing our praise. Yes, now so it forbid. That's the way. Inform us, tell us, let us know.
Okay.
That is one thing. So now a very, very problematic thing, Dandy, that we are having people that because this person is my friend, whatever the ACC does or say about him is wrong. Now, I'm glad the one thing what is bring out now that in order to PR for the slapper and they try for defend them. So which means he no say there are wrongdoings where the president don't do. All what thing he don't talk right now.
He's acting
now procedural.
Okay.
He say now the procedure they act. And then they question the righteousness or the corrupt issues that we raised.
Okay.
He's challenging the procedure that we used. Now the ACC gets a mandate for investigate cases them alleged cases, you understand?
Okay.
And we also get a mandate, clear one of the acts will say we need for educate the public. Now I make public education department day in the first place. So we want for inform the public every step of the way. You know, go say because we not reach to the indictment stage, you know, for inform the people.
In 24 hours, why not that time they will
well, you know, the SEC not get a mandate say we don't know about we
not even getting schedule.
We don't know about Slaffer exactly.
Okay.
What thing we know about now we job. The time when we get information for the public and the time we get sufficient evidence for all person, that is when we go in. So we don't know if now 10 days it could have been last month. If not last month we don't get the reports we want.
Okay.
You know they just go indict person or you know they go arrest person. If you not get sufficient something for Olam, it's not possible.
Okay.
Because it go bring a big backlash. But he say we not done the investigation. It how get findings if we not done if we not go that kind with it. And again, it talk about bail. I just want for bring the issues them out. It talk about bail. The commissioner took him clearly before everybody and I say now $500,000 I set for the bail. I think we all hear that clearly. Somebody asked the question and then he say so. And when they say bail, you know they go take the money, you can't pack them before they say now the money this. You understand? You know they can't put the money before. Now somebody we capable if one time you know able to produce them, we capable of bringing that amount in. So you know go expect the person for take all the $500,000 go to Integrity House and go say look the $500,000 look me we just need your information on your ID card and some other thing them for push.
According to exactly the ID card no more INC then.
But now INC.
Okay.
Now INC and I'm glad you were not to the head of investigation office, he go see that. Now outside he see somebody car with ID card. You know what that person has. Not everybody can want can show you say I have this amount, I have this amount. But let we look at. I'm glad the way in submission very good because he like some in a way talk for ACC. For say the corruption issues they're not challenged none. They're not challenged say Thomas Daddy the president sign a witnessing your signature. You not dispute that fact. All the findings the way the commissioner give that day na integrity house conference room. You not debunk none. What he in debunking say he just keep on saying you know the bill na ID card no more than show you wouldn't know what's in go behind the scene for that kind of ID card. And again he make a very big allegation say the commissioner and gets pressure from behind. Please give me time. You gave him a lot of time, so let me just respond to this. He say he gets evidence, he gets clear calls. One say now call from behind. Now, one thing I want to make clear: operational independence. The ACC can enjoy that. We don't get financial independence because our budget is being dictated by finance and parliament and all. But for the operational independence, we have that one. We enjoy them. And now nobody, even before they say he gets calls, the press conference, the commissioner, we don't make it clear, say he don't grant the people a bail. He even show the bail condition. So how after the press conference, call go still can't say you want to play the football? Commissioner is a football lover and he himself wants for the football move. Then not unbog the football something. So if you say he gets called, maybe say before the press conference, you don't tell them and say these people are going to be granted bail of so amount. Then I don't know if any call come after that press conference. It makes sense because the commission had already pronounced and say I'm going to give these people bail.
The bail condition, can it be made public or now for just left?
No, they don't make it public already. Saying $50,000, $500,000.
Okay.
He made it very, very clear.
Okay.
And it took him na the press conference for everybody, the one old Sierra Leone here, before cameras, before bloggers, before you, the journalists. So for like saying as somebody nine hits on the commissioner and back and call her, he say get clear cut.
You find that ridiculous.
Exactly, and laughable. Do you understand?
Right.
So the last word for this segment now that how would they persecute other people in Tifmande? We own Tifmande and say, Lord, we not keep we own Tifmande. Because this man is my friend, we are close. So anything they say, I'm going to find any way to defend him. It's bad.
Okay.
And it's good he talk this because as I say earlier, it don't vindicate the ACC. Say yes, all the findings are correct in a procedure. With them for don't done all things for indict and for don't the indictment and all.
That thing, I like answer you. We'll come back to the CC's conversation. But again, another major highlight on Saturday was the I don't know, should I say aborted SLFA Ordinary Congress. We go ahead in peace, and the president of the SLFA was in attendance, and later he left. And according to the vice president, one who called the intact and shortly, he cited insecurity, even though the police they say we've been fully there in charge and there was no security problem. And if there is any case of insecurity, now we the Sierra Leone police for Sedani, I'll bring those statements shortly. But again, you be the part of the Congress. It all started from the morning hours till around 10 something we left being to money. I'm sorry, you got this in blue when the Congress not whole as well.
I hope see when we come back on the second segment, you will give me a bite on this issue.
You want for you get comments.
Give me by the George short
one. Yes, do a short one. I look into this.
Now you see when we did a radio, a national radio, we for no for say not to community talk, we for talk. There's a difference between community talk and talk to public, may they understand.
Clarify quickly. Clarify.
That's what I'm doing. Community talk. Now like we born a bay. We all megaphone or one talk, we just talk reckless statement. Sorry for language.
That's what it is. I want you to interact.
Yes, okay. What I meant is, we just talk abruptly with you.
I think that's good.
Okay, sorry for language.
Yes, right. Go ahead. Yes.
So that's what I meant by community talk. You understand? Again, when we go school or when we parents and create and say when person they talk, listen. Where they go on side, where they talk, listen.
Okay.
You for be a very good listener than a talker. Some people were at the press conference, but they don't understand what Ben talk. You understand? I'm not a fan of Ben. You understand? I'm not kind of whether you're a fan or something. I don't get interested.
You know the whole brief for ACC.
No. You understand? Okay. I'm an independent somebody. You understand? Okay. But Ben was specific in his statement. He was specific. Even when Umar, a senior colleague, asked the question, the reason we make it say, reach day, we go discuss on that. You need to preempt your next step in investigation.
Okay.
Because in an investigation, if I dey go look for him phone, maybe I go see other thing wey go give me information more than wetin dey into him phone.
Okay.
So that is why when we dey na radio, we not for just talk like.
All right, go ahead now. So look at the Congress.
Talk on
the Congress. Yes.
Now, the Congress was aborted. You understand?
By who?
By SLFA, because they lack administrative structure, they lack the respect for delegates, they lack the respect for Sierra Leonean, they lack the respect of the people where they invest the money into sport. Why do I say this? In any part of the world, FIFA, CAF, WAFU, when they make reference to, when they want to get a Congress, 30 days prior to the Congress, they don't issue out a delegate list, agenda, and everything. Go now the CAF statue, you they see. That is why the CAF account SLFA statue, do you Reginald?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any of you call away interested, get and the smell go with there, even if you don't understand. But let's get insight on waiting for the this.
Who side the problem start on Saturday? Who side the problem start?
No, it start from the day before.
Was it from the list, the delegate list?
Thank you. Here the problem come up. Waiting the SLFA statute tell you say you for publish list an agenda to the delegates them.
How much hour?
Before the 24 hours.
Before Congress.
Or before that.
Okay.
You understand? When you see delegate list, by right 15 days. Agenda should be sent.
Okay, 15 days before Congress.
Yes.
Okay.
So the delegates them.
Okay.
They watch the agenda, then go through and everything. The package for them meets them before.
Okay.
Now, when we see list come out, net is around 11 o'clock. According to the SLFA statute, and they talk at the talk.
Is that a violation of the SLFA statute himself? We don't eat now.
Of course,
okay.
Because the statute give you a specific term for let you publish names to the delegates, for make you give them package for the Congress. You fail that, so automatically you don't flout the SLFA statute. It then at the book. Look at this is the SLFA statute.
Yeah.
I read them like I read me college notes them.
Okay.
You understand? You know why? Because I don't have to talk community talk.
Okay.
You understand? I need to just talk because I want to talk. Because I read mass communication, I know what is communication. Let me make that very clear.
Okay.
You understand? Then inside the statute, it tell you say when una go na the hall, in fact, one thing we pump everything, we make every kiosk. How come the Secretary General, the acting Secretary General of the SLF,
Engineer Mohammed Ben Simbawo.
Yes, Engineer Mohammed Ben Simbawo become a delegate.
Then but that was in the first place. It's not a typo. It cited that it was a typo.
Excuse me, something is outside the public. You say a typo, so which means, in fact, on what intention you type your name, use yourself name. So from what me see, just like what in boss do. Where he signed the witnesser.
Allegedly.
You understand? I'm quoting from what Ben said, Ben Kefala.
Okay.
You understand? My quoting from. So you when they prepare the list, they type the list, you put your name there as a delegate.
Okay.
That don't show flout. That don't show a intended alleged corruption where they go within the list. Apart from there, he said making correction. You understand? According to the SLFA statute, at Article 36 or something, it tell you say the chairman of all regions.
Please.
I tell you, see, I can always say there is a difference between I read communication. You
That's why I read simply.
I read mass communication.
Yes.
So I was taught what is communication. So I'm very curious about how to respond.
Okay.
So again, in the statute, it tell you say the chairman there of the region.
The regional, chairman.
The regional chairman. Now then, they are delegates. You understand?
Yeah.
How you, Brian, let's just say, Brian, now you supposed to present program. Then you come present program, you see 2 BD. What does that tell you? So that was waiting happen.
Okay.
You understand? Me na delegate, for example, I'm a delegate. Then I meet the appoint me Secretary General. You understand? For the regional. I'm under, I appoint you. Then all of the sudden me can Congress. Then you name candidate as a delegate. How it happened when it was not discussed.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
During the process. So SLFA, how SLFA they go pull chairman for be a delegate, they go put secretary, they go pull chairman, he put vice chairman.
Okay.
Again, that was settled. In the, you understand?
But
that can be inch the hall. The unfortunate part to the reach the.
Would they come on the gist of the candidate? Well, before I come to it, the regional, commander, Freetown West, AIG Sylvester Kuma, be also talk to journalism and update the press as to how far waiting in field say cause the problem, and also he been talk on the position of the Sierra Leone police. I can't tell you in shortly, lower you for man quickly.
We are here to provide security for them. If they are ready to do what they came here for, we can provide it. Now, let me say, if I hold a meeting or you propose to hold a meeting, the first thing you can do for the security is to provide them a list of your attendees. It means that you have to tell them who the delegates are, who the invited guests are, who the journalists. Accreditation is important. You tell us how many people are coming as journalists. I engaged them from this morning. I was here very early this morning. I told Bawo, let's have signages that indicate in the hall where the delegate will be seated, where all the other invited guests will be seated, so that we are very clear. Let us also agree that once the opening session is done, there has to be an announcement for all of you, journalists and all invited guests. The Congress will now go into closed session. We all agree on that. But they were having issues with delegate list. I told them, you have issue with Fanaba, you have issue with Caribbean. You can resolve this among yourselves. But if it's not resolved, when we begin to access people into the hall, those two districts, we cannot allow anybody to come in. Because I don't want a situation where somebody will come to say, I'm the one who is supposed to be there and they are fighting. So we can disallow the both of them not to enter. But again, you can see around how many people are here. We have a delegate, what they told me, of 57 people. What are the rest of the people? That's a big question, so we should be putting to Daddy, Raima and his team, and all those who have interest. If they had given us the list this morning, at the gate, entrance gate there, my men will be there to have begin to filter people. This is a business premise, we understand that. We could have asked you, where are you? I'm going to room 5, okay, please. Security for Radisson. Yeah, please, our guests at room 5. You go. The rest will be on the street. So this is the reason why we have all this here. I'm not an ESCO member. That meeting was called and the issue of threat is something I don't want to talk about. Because in security terminology, we say it is calm and quiet, but unpredictable. It depends what happens in the next moment. What I can say is that if something starts to happen, we are enough to be able to address it. It's very simple. We have those ones who claim they are the victim. They should be able to tell who did what to them. So if you are assaulted, for example, the police station is just close by, go there, enter your reports, tell the police who did what to you. It's the business of the police to launch an investigation and get him arrested and bring him to book.
Has any arrest been made so far?
No arrest has yet been made because I don't know what stage it is. If you get assaulted, you get wounded, they give you a medical paper, you go and bring the report back to the police, what the medical paper says. And let me say this, when they say investigation, it means it's a process. There has to be a determination of when to arrest. So if you enter a report today and they say, it is Brima who assaulted me, if the police does not arrest Brima today, Brima can be arrested tomorrow, Brima can be arrested any other day. Here I am focusing on the conduct of the Congress. Whatever is happening here now, the records will be done at the police and the investigation will follow. Anybody who does anything to the contrary will be brought to do. I think that's the situation we have to accept. And I have told people, we don't take one isolated incident that somebody slapped me and they said that's the situation for me to call off the Congress. But I know my own business. I'm saying we'll be here until the time they say we cannot pull the Congress and we'll all move away. Because once they say the Congress is not holding, I'll be asking all of you to leave the premises.
So that is the voice of AIG Sylvester Kuma, the regional commander of Freetown West for the Sierra Leone Police, and also been get the deputy IG of the Sierra Leone Police as well. We've been did it, and from the police then stated clearly that there is no insecurity. Then get them being fully in charge, and the only challenge with inside now that they're not being given the list of invite attendees away for come to Congress, which makes their work difficult and all. And he also confirms they not make no arrest. And the one day we then confirm say they attack them, let them go to the nearest police station, make the report, and also make them also provide evidence and point to people that we do their acts and it to them. So eating quickly, I'll be asking the same question. Also, if you see the whole issue start on that Congress on Saturday.
So one thing about the media, you have to be honest. Fred Papa Godwin, the worship a member Tuma in life. Sola see there belong to a camp. He's one of the media officers for Team Babadi. The public knows about that. So you can't expect. I'm coming, Reginald.
You have evidence. No, you are saying now.
Reginald.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
You listen.
No, you are saying this against him. That's why. Okay, Sola.
Reginald, when
no, you are. That's why I'm telling him. You are. Please calm down. No, wait. Now the word you saying that's why he respond.
Reginald.
Sola, calm down. Calm down. Yes.
One thing I like, but you afraid God.
Yes. It's what I
say. Sola the part of Team Babadi.
I cannot speak for him now. I can't. Let's go to the topic, please. Yes, go ahead to the topic, please. Go ahead.
Congress started getting issue.
Yes.
The Secretary General of the Football Association and the President was arrested on Thursday.
Okay.
Then detained them and sleep CID. They were bailed on Friday. Congress starts on Friday. Let me state this, yeah. The regional chairman or district chairman. Now then they send names or clubs. Now then they send names of their representation in the Congress. Alisa,
true.
Thank you very much. When we went to Radisson Blue, it all started at night. But nobody did it. Radisson Blue and nobody did it on net. I was told, not confirmed.
That was arrival date, right?
Thank you.
On Friday.
That was on Friday. The very day when the president released Avon Bello.
But it was released before 1 o'clock.
I'm coming. It's not about time. Friday, arrival. Friday, then pulling our cell. If I was the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, I would never go to that Congress on Saturday. Never.
But he went there and he left.
I'm coming. Let me give you the reason.
Yes.
FIFA personalities and CAF personality, they came on Friday night for meet of Saturday. They held a meeting with the Secretary General. So painful. They discussed with them, then chat one or two things, and then we prepare for Congress. On Friday night at Radisson Blue, there were issues. Because no day, I no get evidence, I don't see, I no can lie to the public.
Okay.
I don't know that offend this, or that don't offend this, but exchange of words, then be fed, we were told. Saturday morning, Saturday by
Congress was scheduled for 2 o'clock.
Thank you
Saturday.
very much. I went there 1:30. I went to the Congress hall at 1:30.
Okay.
There are procedures in Congress.
Right.
When you yourself know, those who are accredited, either as a journalist, observer, FIFA CAF representation,
and delegate.
Thank you very much. Who are the components of delegates? They are the people sent in by these regional chairmen or secretaries or clubs where they send their name. Where the total way me you sabi is 50 almost.
7.
Thank you very much. 57 delegates for day to Congress. There were people who went to Radisson Blue. They were not delegates. One of them is Babadi Kamara.
But he has an accreditation.
I'm coming. Allow me. I don't saw accreditation of him.
He has. I saw
Thank you very much.
Accreditation.
But you don't see the difference. You see him, me not see him. Now, let's say he gets accreditation. We only have one president.
I cannot confirm the specific accreditation, but he
has an accreditation.
No, wait, I mean, I cannot confirm whether it was an observer, but he has an accreditation.
No, but the mistake you did was
he gets
Ustad accreditation. You don't know.
It's in all this accreditation picture.
No, I'm coming.
So you're aware that there is no picture in the accreditation.
Hold on, Reginald. Reginald.
Yes.
We only have one president of the Sierra Leone Football Association. Also, be Reginald.
Yeah, you're right.
President Bio is a president of our country. There is no way our former flag bearer or the former flag bearer of the APC party, Dr. Samora Kamara, but a worker with huge men of people and they enter a Congress place. Or there is no way Dr. Samora Kamara would worker with a convoy.
Was that not the same for TDB as well?
I'm coming. Thank you very much. That was the same. That was
for both candidates.
No, it's not about candidate. Wait, let me put you to understanding.
Okay, go ahead.
We not go Radisson Blue for go stand and select election. We went to Radisson Blue for a Congress. There's a difference between a candidate and also a delegate.
Okay.
In Radisson Blue, who don't want see a delegate, observers, representative from different
journalists.
Thank you very much. Good. I like that. You're on your toes now. So this is where it all started at Radisson Blue.
Okay.
The president of the Football Association, according to the Constitution, he has the sole rights for take the membership to Congress and in the moderate with the Secretary General.
Section 38.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
So the president can, Congress the president can. If the president nobody go to the Congress, then it's another news. In this Congress, let's be honest to ourselves, there was an issue with the chairman of Kenema Football Association or Kenema District Football Association, Skilo Jabi, and the deputy. The exchange of words, arguments coming.
Deputy who?
The deputy chairman of the Kenema District Football Association.
Okay.
Yes. Exchange of word come between he and Skilo Jabi. Now they come on Kenema. Now they send list.
I just want to cite that is an internal problem between them.
Thank you very much. But this internal problem, my brother, well, I don't know if you go say this is the white or this is the red.
Okay.
We see Skilo Jabi not afraid God will make her. He go take something where harmful. He can stab the face.
It's indeed serious.
I'm coming. It's serious.
It is. You have an evidence.
I have an evidence.
I don't. Well, can you submit that to the police?
You know be there.
I didn't see that
one.
How
you go tell me for submit to the police?
No, what I mean, the police they ask that.
You are missing your step.
Okay.
You are missing your step. I'm a senior.
No, I'm not. I'm not
senior. Allow me, Reginald.
Okay.
Reginald, wait.
Okay.
How you tell me say submit to police? Are you part of the investigation?
I'm not. What I'm saying here,
yes.
He was not arrested on that day and all.
I can't why. I can't give all the background. If you wait, you go.
It's the time. That's why I'm asking.
But when you interject me,
no,
you
go ahead.
Kill the time.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. You say why Congress not go on? Now they will do so. Me and you get arguments. In the argument, I go take harmful something. I can't stab you in your face.
What are they stab?
Skilo Jabi stab in vice chairman. You see the blood. The whole place corrupt. Everything begin go so. Can they jump so? The security instability. Can they make so? Second one where we see the PA to the president, David Turner, a colleague. He can be anybody tomorrow.
So
Turner was properly beaten. I was told that you be there around. You said they beat Turner. Reginald. I was told. I don't know if you go answer. So in this situation, you listen me.
I sense it's an attack.
Thank you. It is on attack. Thank you very much for that.
No, what I mean for me, that citing that. When that incident occurred, the first thing you ever do first is to find a place where you go where I go take refuge.
Thank you. So
I
didn't take refuge.
I go to, of course. That was a place.
And because why insecurity. Thank you very much, my brother.
Exactly.
Thank you. So in this case, Congress not go on because there were thugs at the all.
Congress started, correct? Or?
I'm coming. No, you know when Congress started? Let me educate you.
But it started Congress.
No, Congress not started.
It started.
Congress not started. You Alan, I've told you. Let me repeat my word.
Why you not start?
You have never attended the Congress.
I have.
Swimming, eh?
No, not swimming. I was in McKinney.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So when you say Congress started, after registration and approval of list, we got to a roll call. Is that not so, Reginald? There were any roll call?
It started, but you know.
There were any roll call?
Yeah, it started.
No, listen. There were any roll call? No, answer that side. You say you be there. There were any roll call?
Yeah, I tell you, so it started. Registration
started.
Congress started from registration.
You start with the roll call.
Okay.
There were no roll call.
Okay.
I was told, you don't listen, Reginald. I was told our 21 delegates register. We have 57 delegates. If 21 delegates register, is that 2/3? The answer is no. So the Congress was aborted. The Congress was postponed because Skilo Jabi from Kenema is stabbed a vice chairman.
But that is not the reason from the president.
I'm coming.
That is not what the president said.
You need to listen.
Say quickly.
You listen to the president. You don't talk to the president. So they are coming the insecurity at the venue. How we go Congress? One person to go chuking company. Is that you run for your life? You say you take refuge. So the place be secure. You as a journalist, you don't come from the public.
It's I come back. No
problem.
I can't on shortly.
No problem.
The EXCO committee, vice presidents 1 and 2 also make comments as to when we get a telephone conversation with the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, and now this them in talk to Congress.
Sorry, on behalf of the Federation, we have kept you unnecessarily waiting. We do apologize. We take full responsibility as the executive committee of the FA because we convene Congress, and so whatever goes wrong or right in Congress, we take full responsibility. We are very sorry. We, as executive committee members, had lengthy deliberations since this afternoon until the early hours of this evening. We've made consultations, we've made our positions known. First, we are going to continue business of Congress today. All of us in the EXCO wanted to continue with Congress, but unfortunately, as provided for in the statutes, Congress cannot hold in the absence of the president. We have looked at the Constitution back and forth, in and out, where we can find a provision that will allow us to continue Congress in his absence. There is no such provision at all. That is why we cannot continue with Congress. The President was here but left. He will speak to the public on the reasons why he left. And because of his absence, we cannot continue with business of Congress today. Additionally, we have suggested, as provided for in the statute, for Congress to be reconvened in 24 hours. We have had discussions with the President. We have not received a yes from the President as it stands. We have made a proposal, but we are yet to receive approval from the President. And we cannot go ahead if he is not available. We have made frantic efforts to ensure that Congress is held, but we have not received approval from the President, and we cannot convene Congress in his absence because the statute does not make provision for that. It is so empty, it is so vague in that direction. That is why, as part of the review of the new statute, we have made certain provisions in that statute that will salvage such situations if they do occur in future when the new statute will have been enforced. So at this point, we want to convey this message that as at now, we cannot speak to a specific date as to when we will reconvene Congress. We have spoken to the moral guarantors and we are waiting for feedback until short a time. We don't have a specific period to reconvene Congress.
Until short time, we don't have a specific day to reconvene Congress. So according to the Vice President too, he cites the president, of course, Section 38 gives the president the power for convey Congress. And one of the things that he cites in that statement that Section 38 say the two things that will make Congress go without the president. One is either death or a mentally retarded, and the president was in those not being followed at into capacity, and they will make the Congress no go on. So Sola, you decide you already make that statement, and Congress unfortunately did not go ahead. We don't have enough time. I just open the phone. I'll get to take on that one as well.
Firstly, I listened. I was there, and the second part of the what the statute say, you for like mentally retarded. I don't want to go down that level. You understand? But again, for me, I expect what the delegate, because there were 42 delegates seated, 8 ESCO. So for me, I expect the decision they made. You understand? Because at the end of the day, this is about Sierra Leone. You understand? And then there is no part in the statute. FIFA have never ever done this. CAF have never done this. You call you say, assuming. You understand? Say mina at the can Congress as a president have worked out barrage of thug and idolers them into the Congress. It has never happened in CAF and FIFA Congress. You understand? For let Thomas Daddy Bremer working with thug. You understand? Videos then they, but I will not comment on that. You understand? But we all see the thug the way out. People of uncertain behavior. You understand? Again, when Babadi enter. Babadi in no circumstances.
Not get group there now.
He get group there now, but in no circumstances. You understand?
How do you call those
circumstances?
How do you call the group?
There were never a foul words from the videos. They say videos are out.
Okay.
Check from the videos. I call the people behind Daddy Bremer thugs.
Then you call
because they use a language that is not good for media or for the public.
Okay.
If you show me any video when the people already encounter Babadi inside, then they say language that is uncalled for, I will refer to them as the same language I did for Daddy Bremer.
All right.
But again, let me learn. You know, say me I precise because I get for allow for let the ranting continue.
Okay.
But again, the reason we make there were 21 delegates inside, Mayan stop for issue delegates pass because they are getting order. You understand? So peradventure, Mayan should have Usa you don't ever see Sef Blatter, Platini. You understand? Issa Yato, go Congress and return back. You see delegates say you return back. It has never happened in the world.
Okay.
Daddy Bremer went inside the hall. Babadi me then na the I call him the cafeteria. Now they been there with a tag. You understand? With a tag. But he never in no circumstances enter.
In which capacity within the Congress?
He go there with a tag. As
Okay.
a journalist,
Okay.
you able for
All right,
call
thank you
and
very much.
interview
Thank you.
on waiting.
Thank you very
but
much.
But waiting turner, who's tag turner get for go inside?
It's the PA to the president.
Well, excuse me, man. We need to be educated. PA to the president is the mandate. What if for go do now? This is a conference for 57 delegates.
Okay.
Not for community people as a PA or something. To go do
Thank you very much. It's I don't know if you got 1 minute. Me phone line.
1 minute, please.
Now. Okay. 1 minute,
please.
Go ahead.
1 minute, please. Sola is my brother. A, please. A.
Sola, you know what?
Reference me.
I know it's not. He's saying you are his brother. Okay. Yes.
Sola
No, do it short.
My brother is
yes.
my man.
Okay, go ahead. 1 minute, quick one.
Sola they fluctuate. 44 delegates, but they register 21. So the rest are what? Are they missing? Secondly, Sola, please. Let me
Sola,
say.
let's go ahead. I open the phone line, please.
I tell you, say they can land for me.
Go ahead.
To it.
Please
land. Yes. Secondly,
guys, I'm afraid.
Secondly,
okay.
no, Ariando, please. Ariando.
I'm afraid I get for take calls and I can't. But I cannot. I can't. Let me take calls, please. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Let me take calls, please. Yes. Hello. 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 Good morning.
Yeah, but harmonize the station.
Yeah. Go ahead, Johnny. Make a contribution.
Yeah. But this hooliganism in sports is a really piss me off in this country. How can we call ourselves civilized organization like sports or football or association or whatever, delegates or what? Then people and they go start people then at the state. That man then at jail now, or he's in a cell, or he's in a detention. What say do the man go assault that man? Who say we get civilized way of behaving in this country, bro?
Okay. Thank you, John. Hello. 079994993. I get so many messages on Facebook. I'll read them shortly. I'll just take few calls. 079994993. Low pick this other caller quickly. Hello.
Yeah, Reggie.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Name I call from. Okay, Bumper.
Yeah. You see this issue about anti-corruption? I want to ask them for this Babadi, not to even get that timber piece. What thing is they good tell about that? They come to this issue about foreign banks there. And you know about money laundering. You know about that Jallo issue. Still money laundering they run a foreign banks there when are under government, you know what I mean, then they operate with them. And then it be a big step. What the anti-corruption they do? Then other than the shorty we go bail them and say na CID. And again we see political interference to what short kind issue where we see immediate bail. But the anti-corruption they do, especially where this crucial time where money laundering they affect we then to what Hilton inside according to of thought they say Ben Salah the straight in police muscle where it resolved to immediate bail. What do you think we about anything?
Thank you very much, Bumper. Let's take a few more calls. 079994993. Please keep them 1 minute, and just from the calls that will come back in the studio and get me guest and response. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you who's are you calling from?
Kapon Kaposki calling from Kalpaton.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. You see, to start with, this money I owed on your reports when 17,280,000,000, and they cannot remember it. I keep them. That is a huge amount of money that down in there. Now, if you huge amount of money don't missing pandamo money day, I'm afraid because if you don't about in the reason can't chicken day, we know they need to get better team. Then one always was then they play the football, not just for organized number, then they will get a kind of day. Then they go what I never pray to. Then last year now we didn't interview that primary in 98.1 saying before in the kind of polarization in a successful businessman. In a successful businessman, but I'm afraid where they cannot declare itself. So now that's.
Thank you. Thank you. Take at least 3 more calls and then we come back in the studio because today way beyond time. 079994993. I get also so many messages. I'll do justice and take some of the messages on Facebook. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Regina Bakayoko.
Yes, Bakayoko. Go ahead, get 1 minute.
I don't really learn a lot this morning. I mean, good morning to you guys in the studio and a very wonderful and educative conversation. But to start with again, I condemn any illegalism in the football and into the Congress. Whosoever, whatever we happen, and I will condemn on unfair. But again, sometimes some of them things then it happens. And obviously that we will stop that kind of Congress going forward.
So what you know more we they say as a fanatic football loving fan, we they call on the SLFA, Thomas Daddy Brema, for let's try for all the Congress for we, because now again for determine who are going to be the next president as they don't start. And so the only thing with all due respect to this administration, they get a lot of lapses from starting that in terms of executive, that administration.
Okay, Bakayoko, thank you.
We don't see the game done the play.
Thank you very much.
There's so many improvements, but that, I mean, administration, they lack so many qualities.
Thank you very much, Bakayoko. Yes, let's take two more and then come back now. Studio 079994993. Just two more calls I will take and then try for wrap up. Hello.
Good day.
Yes. You name us how to call you from?
Mohamed Koma from Allentown.
Okay.
Honestly, where I hear ACC, I watch Mr. Belkan Fala they give analysis of the corrupt practices. It's so heart-rending that they expect, for goodness sake, person goes to the whole Sierra Leone and they go defend that person. We not say the person guilty now because they forgot to the course of law until they find them guilty. But I mean, them allegation, for example, for breach the procurement processes, that is so severe. We not expect person for begin defend. Let us stop this one. Now, Sierra Leone they talk about, and the country, nation, in money. Not to say now, so you know this now the content send on behalf of the nation. Do ya, Sierra Leone? If you not change this, such I will not go before.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. One more call and then we try for wrap up. Just one last lucky call 079994993. We'll take this one person quickly. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Bakar from Pomet.
Yes, Bakar.
Maybe big problem what I get, you understand, and the anti-corruption. If this fight where it can fight corruption, if not genuine fight, then that's the person where they audit, where they check the anti-corruption for no, if not clean faith defect.
Okay.
Because you don't see, they don't give the government 18 something dollar. We give for build diagnostic and radiotherapy. We they see they come up with money then. We they see different way they fight corruption. And we know they see that now they see corruption instead of hearing corruption. So that are the possibility where they monitor this man.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I can't take any more calls because of time. So Big Ali say I greet you all. We also get Fefegula Rashid. Fefegula Rashid, they say on Facebook the government is to blame on all this issue because they have already taken side on one person and intimidating the sitting president in all angles. All right. Another message I will take again from Big Ali. She's saying it's in self-day team TDB. So what are you saying here? Oito said it's a best radio station in Sierra Leone. Thank you, Oito, for that compliment. Sharif Alpha is saying it's in the say the fact. Salomon Nolek too. Solomon Dembi is saying it's in submit your evidence to the police. Sharif Alpha again, Reginald. Okay. Wow. Well, that's the unique thing again. Sharif Solomon Dembi. Okay. I think it's more Lati Kumaru Saidu Ture. You know, it says Solomon Dembi. You know, get. I think this is kind of personal. Please, let's try to address the issue here, and then I don't want to forget message with the attack person in personality directly. Baby, they go up and can down. Daddy Brima, they win SLFA Congress by God power. Sheriff Alpha, they send that one. And again, Big Alicia as usual, you know, ever they stay on the topic. Umar Usaidu saying this. Umar Usaidu said this guy has no idea of what they are saying. TDB has been suspended by low-level people. Why they know they give the good advice? Okay. Well, let's just see if I can take one from Fefegula and then I'll come back to Mane. He say at the 90 minutes to the Congress, the president was arrested and detained by ACC. Technically, you didn't need to tell anybody because I already understand their point. I think these are some of the messages that I would take. Guys, I start with Bernard Awaskagbo from the ACC. I want to follow with Kai for be very much precise as a minister so that we wrap up, please.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I say thanks to all the people we really send messages. We see some of them where they praise what thing we do, which we want for them. Some of them way they ask questions, which is good. We want people for the ask questions a lot. I will start with the last question. I will summarize them really. The last question will say the fight against how genuine is the fight against corruption? Well, we all don't see over the years, for the past 6-7 years, the kind openness where the ACC don't get with the public, just for this Friday will pass. We come now public with a press conference for updates on how to they do. And if you want to know how genuine we are, go on our website. I think I will say that now we are one of the government agencies that we get everything about the commission on our website. You go there, you see everything you want to know about the commission. So it open with investigations, the ongoing, the one that we done, the one that we everything we do, they pull a press release, or we call a press conference like how we do on Friday. So I think say now the genuine thing that they for do, let the people know what you do. It also the same person say that they audit the ACC. The ACC then the audit service, the audit like how, and the audit any other make Parliament gets an oversight over we, because now in fact if they say ACC no exist today, we stop for exist, because they just pass one green bill for annul the ACC Act, automatically ACC is out. And then he say what's in the happen to the money? He talk about diagnostic. I want let we know say ACC not to we they use that money is not ours. And most of them money they already recover, they pay them back to the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Okay.
It's not to ACC get not to we for determine what happen at the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Okay.
Mind you, we now for take and give. What happen there? It's up to whosoever.
Quick one before we wrap up. When would expect the ACC for make charges in this the president and the other two others?
Will they get back to the public
very shortly? All right. Okay.
And then I don't know. Get somebody will talk about Badi, Timber, and SLFA. I don't know what thing that get for do with SLFA and Timber, and I don't know what thing that gets for. I don't know what thing the person mean really.
Okay.
But
I think they ask if ACC be investigated. I think that's
all the active investigations. Then they're still active.
Okay.
If the person want to let me to information decks, we very willing for share.
Okay.
And then also they talk about the bill. As my brother been talking about just now, the bill then we don't determine the bill before the press conference, and during the press conference, commissioner talking clear. I don't know how some people like you go, you listen, you not even pick the thing that what the person they say. Sometimes because you go with a premeditated mind, saying that this I want, let the commissioner go talk. So the bill been done already set, and commissioner talking at the press conference, so not to any interference or any pressure from nobody.
Thank you very much. In Bernard Abbas Kagbo, Public Education Outreach, or the Anti-Corruption Commission. I start with solar, the end with it in this time around, and then come back to solar. Load very, very much short with the wrap up. Yes. Go ahead, anything.
Yes, for me, I appreciate the concern of the Texas them and the callers. I appreciate my brother from the Anti-Corruption Commission. It educates we. It don't tell me certain thing there. One thing about my brother, I would say to her, a journalist is always journalist. If the journalist, people one parable say certain people and they can support people away on thief and they can defend it. I'll give you an example. The ACC defended parentarily in Parliament. That's not just one aside. Let's follow. Now, the Congress was aborted. Me advice to stakeholders.
What is the way forward now?
Now the way forward.
Okay.
We get decent football stakeholders. Many people when are stakeholder or delegates in that Congress, they were decent. But one great fish, they boil all the thousands of fish in a basket. Skilo Jabi, I repeat, the chairman of Kenema District Football Association, responsible why Congress not old. He take an element, go stab a vice chairman. You are coming all the problem. Turner was properly beaten by the people over there around there. Let we go Congress with one mind say, if I am Hilton, I'm contesting for a position. If I believe on the delegates, me not to delegate, me not to observe, and they go on all. And they left me delegates them. Make them do what I want. You know very well when I serve as campaign manager for Sam Morris Jr. I intimidate anybody? No. I curse anybody? No. I not campaign to you. I not let you go vote. At the end of election, me not talk, but not to me on this. Thank you. That's politics. If you know say you get the number, you get the delegates there, you believe them. Not go behind them. Maybe you not believe them, I make you go there.
Okay.
Football, Daddy Brahma can continue for the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association.
Okay.
If the delegate knows that Daddy Brahma is not fit for serve for his second term, all those aspiring for various positions when they went through scrutiny, when time reached for election, go campaign to you delegates, make you vote for you. We only have one president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Thomas Daddy Brahma, period. We only have one president of our country, President Julius Maada Bio, any other person, when they work out crowd, they work out this, you want to bring confusion. That was the problem.
Thank you very much. In him now, it's in JFK John, senior sports journalist. We get now the program. Darlington, for wrap up.
Firstly, it's unfortunate, disgraceful, embarrassed, unethical, disrespectful, unpeaceful acts by the SLFA, Daddy Brahma, and in the acting secretary general for letting tamper with the list, as alleged. We see the list tampered by. You understand? So it's disrespectful to the stakeholders and the people of this country. On no circumstances, then for changing him, they put him. There is no typographical error where you sign and endorse yourself back, your signature, or you don't put yourself, say, Benson Bayo for heroes. We know, say, the heroes then chairman, now Mohamed Kalon, and the heroes and chairman. So on no circumstances, Benson no gets no hands, no nothing into the Congress as delegate. Again, going forward, you understand? Going forward, if you know, say, you get delegate, you get crowd, you don't walk, where you go Congress, go there as president, you want. Talk there not for the BU. You understand? Go there, you want. SLFA staff, PA not important. PA na office, not to delegate. Not to delegate Congress, PA the work. Now office, go sit down na office. Where boss can office, you work there. Yanda is a Congress meant for the stakeholders, the ESCOs, and people that will be accredited. Where them go them for sit down serful. If you are accredited as an observer or journalist, you not forget nothing for past expenses. If you not forget her, you for sit down back while the Congress they go on. But you say you know SLFA staff, you don't involve into politics. You have to carry what politics carry. It's unfortunate what happened to Turner. Is a very good friend. We talk on personal basis. You understand? Me need to tolerate violence. You understand? If you know why violence happen, not ignite violence. There every sickness gets a cause. So Thomas Daddy Brahma, we they beg you, you understand? Be accountable and respect the stakeholders and call.
Way forward, quick one.
Way forward. Me SLFA, Daddy Brahma, and the acting secretary general. Never in the history what it happened 2013 for tamper with a list of delegates. They has no right. They not get that sabide. If they continue for tamper with the list of delegates, we will continue for call them out and we will go allow let the wrong people.
Thank you.
Cast vote for.
Thank you very much, Darlington. Of course, Solar, Sogbo, and also thanks to 18 John, thanks to Bernard Abaskagbo from the Anti-Corruption Commission. It don't be a heated program, but again, when they left the studio, everybody go in peace. That's the beauty of this work we do as journalists. Thank you so much, guys, for being here this morning. And Epic Sports go come at 11 a.m. for give you all the latest as well on the same subject. So if you not get opportunity to call then Epic Sports Day, you go call at 11 and make a contribution. Many thanks to DJ Wonder, who give me technical support. Thanks to the man in the sleek control room, Samuel and CD. Thanks to the guys in the Epic control room. So ECC and Abubakar Bendo. And also thanks to the producer of the program this morning. That's having two capacity. First now, we get James Kamara Mane, which serves as one of the producers. I mean, also I serve as a producer as well in the first segment, and I'm here presenting the second segment. Thanks to the executive producer, Teresa Thomas. My name is Reginald Brian Ojukutu, so I continue for listening to Epic Radio. Have a wonderful day and bye-bye.